Good evening from Oelwein Veterans Park in Oelwein, Iowa, on the south side of town. Tonight on the HuskyCast at www.thehuskycast.com, we've got Oelwein versus New Hampton baseball. Northeast Iowa Conference rivals for years and years in sports. Oelwein versus New Hampton tonight in baseball. It's a beautiful night. It's 79 degrees right now in Oelwein. Very little wind to speak of. A little bit of a breeze. Not terribly humid out. Sunny. And it's just a nice night for baseball or anything else outside. And welcome to the HuskyCast. I'm Dan Stasi, along with Michael Mohlis tonight, and Michael will be with us here in just a few minutes from the press box here on the south side of town. We're about 10 or 11 rows up, right directly behind home plate, facing off to the northeast. If you want to email the HuskyCast, you can, and the address is thehuskycast@hotmail.com. That's thehuskycast@hotmail.com if you want to email the HuskyCast wherever you are. We're glad you're listening wherever you are, and it should be a pretty good game tonight. These two teams have already played this year back on June the 6th up in New Hampton on a beautiful Friday night. They played a doubleheader, weather much like tonight, and it was a great game, or games, I should say. The first game was a wild one. Oelwein won. I believe the final score was 15-14. Oelwein had a huge lead, but New Hampton rallied. But Oelwein held off New Hampton 15-14, and the second game was more of a conventional game. New Hampton won that second game. I believe the score was 8-4, so they split a doubleheader. New Hampton is a very good team. They're solid. They always seem to be. They come into this game tonight with a great overall record. Their record is 15-4 coming into this game. So Oelwein has their work cut out for them tonight. Oelwein not bad themselves. They are 11-9 coming into this game, and over the last week or so they've been playing better. They beat Western Dubuque over the weekend. Last week they beat Charles City. They suffered a tough loss to Waverly recently, the fourth-ranked team in the state, but they hung in with Waverly, only losing 3-1. That was last Friday night. Again, this is the HuskyCast. I'm Dan Stasi. It's 19 after 7. Michael Mohlis will be along in just a minute. I want to pass along, though, right now, some of the people who make the HuskyCast possible, so you can be able to get this. And if you're in the Oelwein area, thank the sponsors for making this possible. Even if you're not, call them or something. Here's some of the sponsors that make it possible. Sam's Clothing, Fayette County's only men's clothing store, true men's clothing store. They feature affordable name-brand clothing, casual wear, and tuxedo rentals. Sam's Clothing, downtown Oelwein on North Frederick Street. Slide into Styles of Distinction for a Grand Slam value. Styles of Distinction in downtown Oelwein. And while you're there, shield your eyes from the sun's glare with a great selection of shades for guys and gals at Styles of Distinction, East Charles Street, downtown Oelwein. And stop in and say hi to Denise Schonenberger. And right next to Denise's business is Hint Ziegler Miller Insurance. Call Lyle Miller at 319-283-1555. Hint Ziegler Insurance, East Charles Street in downtown Oelwein. The Cutting Edge, they've got you covered. South Frederick Street, downtown Oelwein. Studio 17, relax, renew, revive, because you need time for yourself too. Studio 17, East Charles Street, downtown Oelwein. Don's Pharmacy, your home team family pharmacy, South Frederick Street in downtown Oelwein. And taking care of their clients both home and away. Cornerstone Realtor, South Frederick in Oelwein. Anytime Fitness in Oelwein is a 24-hour fitness facility that offers cardio equipment, weight training, tanning, and the new Wellbeats virtual exercise classes for members. Become a part of the Anytime Fitness family where they work together to live healthier lives. Anytime Fitness in downtown Oelwein. Van & Over Jewelry, you'll appreciate their expertise, knowledge, and capabilities they have to offer in the diamond business. The reputation in the jewelry business is unsurpassed over 52 years. That's Van & Over Jewelry, downtown Oelwein in the heart of town. And financial advisor Kurt Solzma of Edward Jones has been helping investors reach their goals for over 30 years. Call Kurt Solzma in downtown Oelwein today for all your financial needs. Kurt Solzma of Edward Jones, downtown Oelwein. And breakfast served all day, every day at the Country Cottage Cafe across from City Park in Oelwein. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. Oelwein and New Hampton getting ready to play ball here tonight. New Hampton coming in with a good overall record of 15-4. Oelwein is 11-9 on a beautiful Wednesday night here in late June in Northeast Iowa. Very little wind, 79 degrees. A nice night for baseball. I'm Dan Stasi on the HuskyCast, and joining me once again tonight on the HuskyCast is Michael Mohlis. And Michael, first off, thanks for coming up. Good to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you too, Dan. Looks like it's going to be a great night for Northeast Iowa Conference baseball.
It sure does. And, Michael, we covered the very first Husky cast. We traveled to New Hampton, and we saw these two teams play, and it was good games. New Hampton is a good team. Oelwein won the first game, and I expect – well, I don't know if the first game of that doubleheader, I think, was 15-14. I don't know if we'll get a game that high scoring tonight, but you just never know, Michael, in high school baseball.
Yeah, that's true, Dan. You just don't know. I mean, it was both – looking back at that night, that doubleheader, it was just a great atmosphere for the first conference game for the Huskies, and it was a battle between both teams. They ended up splitting, but it was a battle. So now we have the rubber match here at home against New Hampton. And Huskies have to look forward to that.
And New Hampton caught a tough break this season. One of their best players, I'm going to venture to say their best player. Not really for me to say that, but I'm going to say their best player, the McDonald kid, the coach's son. He's out for the season with Tommy John surgery, and that's a tough break for him because I understand he's all of that, and that's tough for them.
Yeah, definitely. Cole McDonald, he's a great player, all-state player multiple times. Just one of the best pitchers in the state, probably in the top 5 for sure. We've seen him over the last few years, and he's just getting better and better stuff. I don't know for sure. I know he hurt his arm, and he's out, but he can still hit. He plays DH all year for the rest of the year. And then after that, he's a commit to Iowa. He's going to go pitch. He's only a junior, so I don't know. Depending on what needs to be done, if it's a Tommy John issue, then he'll be, once he gets surgery, he'll be out for 12 months, and his career could be over after this season, possibly.
Yeah, that's too bad for him. That's played Big Ten baseball, and to have a major injury like that at such a young age, that'd be tough. But he is playing, but Oelwein, I guess, if you look at it from this point of view, Michael, Oelwein is catching a break because he's one of the best pitchers, and they're not going to see him tonight. So there's a break for us.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it's a break for the whole conference, but I know all the conference coaches don't want to see anything like that, any injuries like that. They want to go against the best and have the conference be really good.
Michael, you've got the starting lineups and the records and all that, so I'm going to turn the microphone over to you right now. So give us the starting lineups for tonight's game, and to add anything else you want to add, and I'll be back here in a couple minutes. Go ahead.
All right, thanks, Dan. For the Huskies tonight, they come in at 11-9 overall, 4-4 in the conference. Going into tonight, their starting lineup will be leading off will be junior center fielder Jared Latterberg. Hitting second is designated hitter Kyle Bauska, and he's going to DH for the catcher Troy Rao. Senior Mason Shannon got a little banged up. He'll be out tonight. Not sure on anything else. Hitting third, Hud Johnston, playing first base for the Huskies. He's a senior. Hitting fourth, it's going to be sophomore Tony Rex. He's on the hill tonight. He'll be pitching. Hitting fifth, Wade Michaels, playing right field. Hitting sixth, Austin Arndt, a junior, playing shortstop. Hitting seventh for the Huskies, Grant McMillan in left field. Followed by hitting eighth, Kyle Wodraska, playing second base. And hitting ninth is Sam Myatt at third base for the Huskies tonight. Flipping over, looking at New Hampton's lineup tonight, they've got one of the best hitters in the conference, Cole McDonald, the pitcher that we won't see at all, DHing. And he's DHing for the left fielder, Tanner Knowlton. Hitting second for the New Hampton Chickasaws is Connor Cleveland. He's a sophomore center fielder. Hitting third is Tucker Tangy, one of their best hitters, if not their best hitter. He's playing shortstop tonight. Following him is their four-hole, Noah Hopp. He's a freshman, first baseman, and he swings a pretty good stick. Hitting fifth for the Chickasaws is senior Kyle Smith. He'll be at third base. Hitting sixth is the pitcher, Alex Troina, and we saw him at New Hampton, Dan. And then hitting seventh is going to be right fielder Noah Anderson tonight. Hitting eighth, second baseman Noah Eichenberger. And hitting ninth is their catcher that we saw them make the switch with their catcher at New Hampton. He's a freshman, Trevor Ambrose.
Okay, Michael, and New Hampton comes into the game with a very impressive record, 15-4, so the Huskies got their work cut out for them tonight as Oelwein is now taking the infield. And before I give credit to some more of our sponsors and get us set up for the first pitch, Michael, what's your feeling going into this game? How do you think you were down on the field here a minute ago, kind of over by the Husky dugout? What's the if you were to take the temperature of the team right now, how do you feel about them?
Well, they come off a split from last night. They lost a devastating game to Jessup. It was 3-3. Went into the 10th inning. They gave up 6 in the 10th. They lost 9-3 against a pretty good Jessup team. And then they beat Turkey Valley 7-4 last night. Okay, so they're coming off a tough loss and then a good bounce-back win. Without senior Mason Shannon, sophomore Tanner Rising, two of their best hitters and best players, that hurts, but they're going to just have to move on for tonight and be able to play through that. Gives a chance for a couple other guys to step in and see some conference action for first couple times for them. I know New Hampton won last night 10-2. They threw senior Kyle Smith in that game, so they're coming off a pretty good victory, and now they're throwing probably their best pitcher, who, other than Colt McDonald, obviously, but their best pitcher, Alex Troina, who got a win in Game 2 last time when we played them. So, I mean, for the Huskies, I think they're looking sharp so far in the infield, and I think they're going to be ready to go. Coach Gearhart a minute ago had a big talk with them and got them ready to go. So, knowing this Husky team, they're always going to fight. They're always going to be great on the base pass. Defensively, overall, they're usually pretty clean. They have two guys with 10 errors on the year, but other than that, they're pretty clean baseball. And so defensively and base running wise, they're going to be good. I think one thing key for the Huskies tonight is with New Hampton getting the ball in play, hitting the ball hard against Troina, drawing some walks because he didn't walk many last time. But if they can draw a few walks and if he throws strikes, put the ball in play hard. This New Hampton team is really known for their hitting and for their pitching. Defensively, they haven't really been great by any means. They're not poor, but
it's their weak spot if they have
their
any.
weakest spot is definitely their defense. I mean,
they did commit a lot of errors the first time we saw them this year, and that was why they lost. Main reason why they lost the first game in the doubleheader against Oelwein. Well, that and Oelwein hit the ball hard too. So I tell you what, Michael, I have to credit some more of our sponsors here, and by then we should be getting close to first pitch. Oelwein's taking their infield right now. Tonight, again, it's Oelwein versus New Hampton in baseball here from Oelwein on the HuskyCast at www.thehuskycast.com. Michael Mohlis is alongside. I'm Dan Stasi. It's great to have you along. Hit an insurance home run with Vogel Insurance at 283-1836. Vogel Insurance is in downtown Oelwein, just east of the bowling alley. Of course, that's area code 319. It's cleaned up with many of their auto insurance discounts at Vogel Insurance. Make the right choice with Right Price Office Supply in downtown Oelwein. Right Price Office Supply for all your home, school, and office needs. Right Price Office Supply, South Frederick, downtown Oelwein. Covenant Clinic and Mercy Hospital are here to serve your healthcare needs at every single stage of life. Covenant Clinic, Mercy Hospital, 8th Avenue Southeast in Oelwein. Recipes perfected over time at Luigi's Restaurant, South Frederick Street in Oelwein. They also are the home of the best Sunday brunch in Northeast Iowa every Sunday from 10:30 in the morning until about 1:30 or so in the afternoon. The Oelwein Husky Booster Club, where everyone is a member. Check them out at www.oelweinhuskyboosterclub.com. We thank them for their support for the Husky Cast. Call Flowers on Main for the freshest flowers in town. They have gifts and home decor and so much more. Flowers on Main's telephone number is 283-7550-319, and they will deliver for you. Flowers on Main, South Frederick Street in downtown Oelwein. Appliance Plus is your U.S. Cellular authorized agent located in Oelwein, Independence, and West Union. Appliance Plus is your exclusive GE appliance dealer in Oelwein. They're located on South Frederick Street, right where the old Hardee's used to be. Ridehoff Fueling, Snitker, Weber, and Company CPAs proudly supports the young men and women of Oelwein High School and their sports teams. Ridehoff Fueling, Snitker, Weber, Company CPAs located on East Charles Street in downtown Oelwein. Performance Rehab is the premier choice for physical therapy for treating sports injuries in Northeast Iowa. Todd Bradley and his team do that better than anybody. Performance Rehab, their office in Oelwein, is located on the top of the hill on North Frederick Street in Oelwein. They also have an office in Sumner. Taking care of all of Oelwein's pets and livestock since 1968 is the Oelwein Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Ken McDonough, Dr. Veterinary Medicine, and Dr. Janet Sears, Dr. Veterinary Medicine, are proud supporters of all Husky athletics. The Oelwein Dental Associates supporting all Oelwein sports, 7th Street Southeast in Oelwein Dental Associates. We're just a few minutes away from first pitch tonight. It's Oelwein versus New Hampton on the Husky Cast. I'm Dan Stasi. Michael Mohlis is alongside. We're thrilled you're along. The upcoming schedule on the Husky Cast, we got a busy week this week. Tomorrow night we have a softball doubleheader from right across the way here in Oelwein at Oelwein Veterans Park. Oelwein taking on Waukon. It's a doubleheader. We'll be on for the first game on the Husky Cast about 5:45. First pitch scheduled for 6 o'clock, and it's 2 tomorrow night. And the Husky Cast, a doubleheader, as Oelwein takes on Waukon in softball. Then Friday night there will be more softball on the Husky Cast this Friday night. And Monday night we have a makeup softball game this coming Monday night, and then we have more baseball next week on the Husky Cast. The following week in baseball we'll be traveling to Charles City and Independence for the Husky Cast for baseball games. That's right after the 4th of July. The schedule is right there on the website on the Husky Cast. So if you if you want to pick up the Husky Cast on your smartphone, here's how to do it. You need to get a Photon browser. That's a free app. Photon browser is P as in paper, H as in hotel, O as in office, T as in Tom, A as in Andrew, N as in November. Photon browser. Get a Photon browser, and you'll see the flash player up on the right-hand corner, and that's how you get the Husky Cast on your smartphone. It's 7:33, Oelwein and New Hampton tonight in Northeast Iowa Conference Baseball. They're running a few minutes late. The junior varsity game was won by New Hampton tonight. The final score in the junior varsity game was 7-4. Dr. Anthony Leo, MD, proudly supports all Oelwein high school athletes and sports teams. Dr. Leo's office in Oelwein is located at 204 8th Avenue Southeast in Oelwein. And breakfast any day, all day, 7 days a week at Country Cottage Cafe, located right across City Park in Oelwein. It's the Husky Cast tonight, Oelwein in New Hampton. And Michael, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's coming up as far as Oelwein is? Do the softball teams and baseball teams do they know their draws now? I know we're getting ahead of the game, but we have some time to take care of here. As far as like postseason is concerned, do they know their draws yet for postseason? Do they know where they're going to be going?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, so softball got announced today. They are going to go to Center Point and play them. The baseball schedule hasn't been, or it's been released with the group of 8 that is involved. We host here in Oelwein, and then Waverly Shell Rock hosts. There's a group of 8. It's Waverly Shell Rock, Oelwein, a really good West Delaware team, Cresco, Charles City, Independence. And then we have Decorah and Waukon. So pretty much our conference, excluding New Hampton, so our 6 conference schools, plus West Delaware, who's really tough, and then Independence. Okay.
Now, I was away from Iowa for a long, long time, so I lost track. Are those based on seedings? Do teams get seeded in the postseason?
Yeah, well, a lot of it's some area stuff. I mean, they're not going to put somebody out in western Iowa from here. But then they seed the top 2, which at this point, season ended today, Waverly would be 1, West Delaware would be 2, so they'd split those. So Waverly would go to Waverly, West Delaware would come to Oelwein, and then usually Oelwein being a host site, the Oelwein will be playing at home throughout. So Oelwein would probably be with West Delaware, and I'd imagine that's how it's going to be. So they'd get a couple games before they'd see Waverly, but they'd have to go through a tough West Delaware team, and then the rest of the teams they kind of just split up too, based on area and some kind of based on record-wise as well.
We've seen the Husky baseball team, Michael, so far this year several times now, and they've played some really good teams, and they've lost some games, but they've lost games to good teams like Waverly last week, who are very good, and Oelwein has been in. They've been in every game we've seen play this year, and I think the next couple of weeks are very important for the Huskies. If they have some momentum going into the postseason, they're a team that could win a few games in the postseason, because I tell you what, Waverly's the 4th-ranked team in the state, or they were. Oelwein played them tough Friday night. This team is good. Oelwein's already beat New Hampton once this year. So the Huskies this next couple of weeks, I think, are very important for the Oelwein team. If they get some momentum going into the tournaments in July, you never know, we could make a run.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, any team can make a run. A few years ago, Decorah didn't win the conference, and then they ended up winning the state title. They got really hot. So it could happen. You have to have two really good pitchers, which with Wade, Michaels, and Tony Rex, they've thrown pretty well this year. But the key is having two really good pitchers that you can throw, because you can't throw the same pitcher every game. So you'll throw one, then you'll throw the second one, game 2, and then game 3 you'd be back to the first one. Usually is how it works. So sometimes that ace might come in at the end of game 2 or stuff like that. But you have to have two really good pitchers, clean defensive effort, and then be able to hit good pitchers too. So never know what can happen in baseball. It's a game that don't need, I guess, the best athletes don't always win in baseball. It's a little different than some other sports.
No, it's more of a mental sport than it is physical. Not that physicality counts. Yes, speed counts. Being a strong hitter counts. Physically being strong, but baseball is a game that's played largely above the shoulders.
Yeah,
it's a physical. It's not so much a physical. It's mental.
Yeah, if you can get guys doing their job at their position, and when they hit, you can go a long ways in the game of baseball. So.
New Hampton, Michael, as you can see, is taking their infield right now. New Hampton's in Oelwein tonight in their red jerseys with white numbers, white trim, and white pants. They'll be wearing black caps, black and red, I think. And Oelwein is in their home purple jerseys, gold jerseys with purple trim and gray pants, and it looks like, or white pants and purple caps. And it looks like we're still a few minutes away from the start of the varsity game tonight. The junior varsity game was won by New Hampton. The final there was 7-4 over New Hampton. So we're just a few minutes late tonight on the Husky Cast, but we'll get going here in a minute. It's a beautiful night for baseball. I'm Dan Stasi, and that was Michael Mohlis alongside. It's about 80 degrees, a little less than 80 degrees, sunny, just a perfect night for ball. There's very little wind to speak of. No, that's not going to play a factor in this game. I'll be back in a minute, or Michael will be back in a minute, and by then New Hampton should be about done with their infield, and their outfielders are tossing the ball around out there too. Right now I want to give credit to some of our sponsors before we go any further on the Husky Cast tonight at www.thehuskycast.com. Tell your friends, relatives, everybody, acquaintances that you know about, if you're from Oelwein, or even if you're not. We'd like you to listen anyway. You don't have to be from Oelwein or even have any ties to Oelwein. We just want you to listen and hope you enjoy it. Fayette County's only true men's clothing store is Sam's Clothing on North Frederick Street in Oelwein. They feature affordable name-brand clothing, casual wear, and tuxedo rental. Sam's Clothing is in downtown Oelwein, as I said, on North Frederick Street. Shield your eyes from the sun's glare with great selection of shades for guys and gals at Styles of Distinction, East Charles Street in downtown Oelwein. And in the very same building, cool off with an iced coffee latte, or go for a smoothie at the Daily Grind. Mention this ad for a special discount, the Daily Grind, and Styles of Distinction, East Charles Street in downtown Oelwein. And Denise Wilson is the proprietor. Hint Ziegler Miller Insurance. Call Lyle Miller at 319-283-1555. Hint Ziegler Insurance, East Charles Street, downtown Oelwein, right next to Styles of Distinction. The Cutting Edge, they've got you covered. South Frederick Street in downtown Oelwein. Studio 17, where you can go to relax, renew, revive, because you need time for yourself as well. Studio 17, East Charles Street, downtown Oelwein. Don's Pharmacy, your home team family pharmacy, South Frederick Street in downtown Oelwein. Taking care of their clients both home and away. That's Cornerstone Realtors, South Frederick in Oelwein. Right across from Fairway in Oelwein is Anytime Fitness. Then that's a 24-hour fitness facility that offers cardio equipment, weight training, tanning, and the new Wellbeats virtual exercise classes for members. Become part of the Anytime Fitness family, where they work together to live healthier lives. Anytime Fitness, downtown Oelwein on First Avenue. At Van & Over Jewelry, you'll appreciate their expertise, knowledge, and capabilities they have to offer in the diamond business. The reputation in the jewelry business is unsurpassed over 52 years. That's Van & Over Jewelry, downtown Oelwein. Financial advisor Kurt Solzma of Edward Jones has been helping investors reach their goals for over 30 years now. Call Kurt Solzma in downtown Oelwein today for all your financial needs. Kurt Solzma of Edward Jones in downtown Oelwein. And taking care of Oelwein's pets and livestock since 1968 is the Oelwein Veterinary Clinic. And the doctors there are Dr. Ken McDonough, Dr. Veterinary Medicine, and Dr. Janet Sears, also DVM. they proudly support all Oelwein Husky athletics. Todd Bradley supports Oelwein Husky athletics, and he has for a long time. So does his business, Performance Rehab. That is the premier choice for physical therapy for treating all sports injuries in Northeast Iowa, on top of the hill in Oelwein on North Frederick Street. Todd also has an office in Sumner, and breakfast all day, every day, Country Cottage Cafe right across from City Park in Oelwein. We're about ready for the first pitch here in just a couple of minutes. New Hampton's still out there warming up. Tonight, it's New Hampton and the Oelwein Huskies on the Husky Cast. We're glad you're along. I'm Dan Stasi. Should be fun with Michael Mohlis. Oelwein comes into the game with a respectable overall record of 11-9. As I said, they've played some tough teams, and they've played well for the most part. New Hampton, really a solid ball club. Excuse me. They are 15-4. These two teams met earlier this month in New Hampton on June the 6th, up there on a Friday night, a night just like tonight, a beautiful night. The two teams split a doubleheader up there tonight, and both games were very competitive. The first game was very high scoring with a lot of runs, some errors. The second game more conventional, but both games were very competitive. And we're going to be about ready to get going here in just a few minutes. And Michael, tell us, you got a lot of information tonight, and that's a good thing. Tell us about what's coming up for these two teams, this week's games, next week's games. What do they have coming up?
Well, Friday's the next game for both of them. They've got a conference matchup. New Hampton is going to be at home against Cresco, and then Oelwein has to play Decorah at home as well on Friday. And then next week for the Huskies, on Tuesday they're going to go to Cresco, and then Thursday they have walk-on at home. So next week kind of starts winding down, just two conference games, Tuesday and Thursday of next week.
And Cresco's always a long road trip for Oelwein, way up there or way north and west of town. As the crowd is filing in here, it looks like we're going to have a pretty nice crowd here tonight at Veterans Ballpark on the south side of Oelwein. A spectacular night for a baseball game, about 79 degrees. According to my phone, it's 79 degrees. Not too much humidity. It was humid today, but it's not too bad right now, and there's no wind to speak of. So if you can come on out. And if you can't, wherever you're listening right now, whether you're in Iowa, the Oelwein area, or anywhere in the United States, thank you for listening. The other night we had a listener in Billings, Montana, amongst other places listening, and Los Angeles. So thank you for tuning in to the Husky Cast. And the Husky Cast is at www.thehuskycast.com. You can email us at thehuskycast@hotmail.com. And before I send it back to you, Michael, for some words, I want to remind the folks, if you want to listen on your smartphone or Android, you can. You need to get a Photon browser, though, and that's free. Photon is spelled P, as in paper, H-O-T-O-N, and then you'll see a flash point up there on the right-hand side. You click that, and you should be able to get the Husky Cast on your smartphone or Android by doing that. Oelwein coach Gerhardt is meeting with the New Hampton coach right now at home plate with the umpires, and we're finally about ready to go. Running a little late tonight. The junior varsity game was won by New Hampton 7-4 earlier tonight. And Michael, I'm going to turn it back to you because I'm all talked out for right now. What do you think the keys are besides the obvious? Oelwein needs to score more runs, but what do you think the keys are tonight for Oelwein Oelwein victory over against what is a very good baseball team?
Yeah, Dan, I think Huskies with a little bit different lineup tonight. You're going to have to come out being able to hit Troina. If they can get on them early and try to get Troina out of the game, that's going to cause problems for New Hampton. And making them make tough plays as well when they hit. I mean, by putting the ball in play, if they limit strikeouts, striking out is costs a lot of things in high school baseball. If you can put the ball in play hard somewhere, teams have to make plays. And then New Hampton's a pretty good ball club, but if you put the ball in play often, it's gonna be huge for the Huskies. I know this year they've had a couple times with needing some 2-out hits or they've left some runners with runners on base, and other teams have gotten out of the inning against the Huskies. So being able to hit with guys on second and third is going to be a huge part for the Huskies. And then defensively, they've been playing pretty good baseball lately, and that's going to be a huge part for the Huskies, as well as the base path situation is going to be huge for both teams. Both coaches, Coach Gerhardt, Coach Corey McDonald for New Hampton, do a good job with both their programs, running the bases, taking extra bases when they can, being aggressive, and that's going to be fun to watch tonight in this ball game.
Okay, both the coaches are finishing their meeting with the umpires at home plate, and we're just a few minutes away now from baseball. Running a little late. Tim Gilson is the public address announcer up here in the box. Nice press box here. As Oelwein is about ready to take on New Hampton here in just a few minutes. I'm going to run over the sponsor list one more time, Michael, and by then we should be about ready for first pitch. And I will send it over to you to start the game off here in just a minute. First off, though, I want to give some of the credit for some of the people bringing the Husky Cast to you. Hit an insurance home run with Vogel Insurance. Vogel Insurance is in downtown Oelwein at 283-1836. You're in better hands with Vogel Insurance in downtown Oelwein, 319-283-1836. Right Price Office Supply for your home, school, and office needs. Right Price Office Supply, South Frederick Street in downtown Oelwein. Covenant Clinic and Mercy Hospital here to serve your healthcare needs at every stage of life. Covenant Clinic, Mercy Hospital, 8th Avenue Southeast in Oelwein. Oelwein's Best Sunday Brunch is located at Luigi's on South Frederick Street in Oelwein every Sunday from just after, or about 10:30 in the morning till just after 1:30 in the afternoon. Luigi's, South Frederick in downtown, or South Frederick in Oelwein. The Oelwein Husky Booster Club, where everyone is a member. Check them out at www.oelweinhuskyboosterclub.com. Call Flowers on Main for the freshest flowers in town. They have gifts and home decor and so much more. Call Flowers on Main at 283-7550, and they will deliver for you. Flowers on Main in downtown Oelwein. Be sure to visit Appliance Plus in Oelwein, Independence and West Union for all your U.S. Cellular needs. Appliance Plus, your U.S. Cellular and GE authorized agent on South Frederick Street in Oelwein. That's where the Hardys used to be. Radehoff, Fueling, Snitker, Weber & Company CPAs proudly supports the young men and women of Oelwein High School. They're located at East Charles Street in downtown Oelwein. Oelwein Dental Associates supporting all Oelwein sports, 7th Street Southeast in Oelwein, right across from the Dairy Queen in Oelwein. Stop in and say hi to Drs. Kruger's. An Oelwein Veterinary Clinic has been taking care of Oelwein area's pets and livestock since 1968. Dr. Ken McDonough, Dr. Veterinary Medicine, and Dr. Janet Sears, DVM, proudly supports all Oelwein Husky athletes. And right next to them, right across from City Park in Oelwein, is the Country Cottage Cafe, where they serve breakfast all day, every day, 7 days a week. The Country Cottage Cafe, right across from City Park in Oelwein. Tim Gilson's just about done making the announcement of the starting lineups tonight. We're just finally a minute or two away, or a couple of minutes away from first pitch between Oelwein and New Hampton tonight on the Husky Cast. It's great to have you along. And Michael, this should be a good game. Well, first I'll turn it over to you in a minute. First, though, let's get the national anthem. Here it is. And that's our national anthem at Veterans Park, Veteran Sports Complex on the south side of Oelwein on a beautiful night for baseball here in northeast Iowa. Oelwein versus the New Hampton Chickasaws, a rematch from earlier this month where Oelwein and New Hampton split a doubleheader. I'm Dan Stasi with Michael Mohlis. Michael, we got a minute or two now. We're about ready to finally get started. Running a little late. The junior varsity game was won by New Hampton 7-4. Talk about Oelwein starting pitcher coming into this game.
All right, well, for the Huskies, they have Tony Rex. He's a sophomore overall on the year. He's had 7 total appearances, 4 starts. He's 1-2 with 25 innings thrown. He has a 2.49 ERA, 19 strikeouts to only 5 walks. And I know Coach Gearhart trusts young sophomore Tony Rex quite a bit. Has a pretty good fastball. He's been working on his curveball quite a bit lately, and he's starting to figure that out as well. And then doing the catching duties for the Huskies is tonight is going to be sophomore Troy Rao. Mason Shannon's going to be out tonight, and hopefully he'll be back soon. So these guys have worked together a little bit in their day, not too much, but 2 young sophomores for the Huskies doing having the battery. And then across the outfield for the Huskies is going to be Grant McMillan, Jared Latterberg, and Wade Michaels, which so far this year they've been great defensively, making great plays out in the outfield for the Huskies. Across the infield, we've got Sam Myatt, Austin Arndt, Kyle Wodraska, and Hud Johnson left to right from third to first, and they've picked up defensively as well. So Tony's a good young pitcher for the Huskies, and he's going to be tested again tonight against quality quality hitters for New Hampton. New Hampton comes in with 6 guys hitting above 300, and 5 of those 6 are in the top 15 in the conference. So they're very good, and they all hit 1 through 5. So leading off right now is going to be junior Cole McDonald.
And he does, Michael. Thank you very much, Michael Mohlis. Cole McDonald's a left-handed hitter. Here's the windup in the first pitch of the game, and it's a strike. 77 degrees in Oelwein at 7:52. Very little wind to speak of. It's still sunny. A beautiful night for baseball. 0-1 is the count. Rex to McDonald. Rex is in his windup, and here's the pitch. Outside 1-1. Just underway on the Husky cast. Oelwein versus New Hampton. A little late tonight. That's all right. We're going now. And what should be a pretty good ball game. Here's the wind and the pitch from Rex to McDonald, fouled out of play, 1-2. New Hampton is in red uniform tops with their white numbers, white pants, red shoes, kind of look like the Cardinals out there, red helmet. The batters will wear red helmets. Oelwein's in their purple trim jerseys with gold with purple trim, white pants, purple caps. Their home uniforms. Here's the windup and Rex's pitch to McDonald, and it's fouled out of play again. We're right behind home plate, about 10 or 11 rows up, facing to the northeast here at Oelwein Veterans Park. And right off the bat, Michael, we have a good battle between pitcher and batter.
Yeah, one of the best hitters in the conference with Cole McDonald. He fought up at New Hampton when we saw him, and he does it here again. He's just good at working the count.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. So a good start for Rex and the Huskies. 1 out. Comes a little hitter for New Hampton. He's going to be batting from the left-hand side of the plate. Number 1, Connor Cleveland.
Yeah, Connor's a sophomore in the year. He's hitting .367, so he's only about 5'7", 5'8", but he can definitely swing the bat.
Makes contact. Where's number 1? And there's the first pitch to him, fouled out of play. Nice crowd on hand here, and people are still filling in.
At New Hampton in Game 2, I remember he hit one of the fence in right center for a triple. So he's definitely got a little pop and just a very good hitter for New Hampton.
Rex on the mound for the Huskies. He's looking in for the sign from his catcher, Rao. He gets it, the wind, and the pitch. Nice pitch, and he just missed. That was close. 1-1 is the count.
Yeah, not sure where that missed, Dan, but
I don't know either.
That was a very nice curveball by Tony Rex, and he's just got to keep battling now.
So Tony Rex ready, the wind and the pitch, and it is fouled out of play. So Rex is ahead again, 1-2. Luigi's Restaurant on South Frederick Street in Oelwein, home of the best Sunday brunch in Northeast Iowa, from 10:30 until about 1:30 in the afternoon. I think I'm right? Okay, here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back.
Welcome back for those of us who haven't been gone that long, but I thought that's a hit.
We're joined up here in the press box by Tim Gilson. Thank you, sir. Thanks, Marty.
Dick Clafford was telling about those the other night when he had
1-2 count to Connor Cleveland now.
Connor Cleveland's a left-handed hitter. Here's the windup and the pitch, and he's fouling a lot of pitches out of play. So Rex has thrown a lot of pitches. The first 2 batters, as New Hampton has been really battling here in first 2 hitters. We're in the top of the first, no score.
He's already at 10 pitches. Cleveland and McDonald do a good job working the count. They'll foul off tough pitches until they see the pitch they need.
Rex looks in for the sign. He winds, he delivers, and it's inside 2-2. Studio 17 in downtown Oelwein. Relax, renew, revive, because you need time for yourself. Studio 17, downtown Oelwein, right across the street from Quickstar. Here's the wind and Rex's pitch to Connor Cleveland, and it's popped up in the infield. This could be trouble, and it's caught by the first baseman. A nice catch by Hud Johnston.
Yeah, very nice play, Dan. He got a great jump on it, and he was the only one that could have got to it. Tough play for Tony Rex behind him, and Hud Johnson dives, makes a diving catch for out number 2 for the Huskies.
That was a funny little pop-up on the infield, and I thought it was going to be trouble for the Huskies, but Johnston makes a nice catch.
Next up is Tucker Tangy, one of the best hitters in the conference.
Tucker takes a strike. Number 9, Tucker's a right-handed hitter. 2 outs, nobody on base. We're just underway. No score between Oelwein and New Hampton on a nice night here in Oelwein. 77 degrees, sun, no wind. The wind and Rex's pitch to Tucker Tangy. And there's a pop fly out of play on the right side. So Oelwein's 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. And 1-2-3.
Yeah, Dan, for listeners, Tucker Tangy is hitting .435 on the year. He has 26 RBIs, which leads the team. And he also has 5 triples and a home run. He's very fast. If he can hit it into gaps, he's going to look to try to get triples.
So anytime you get this guy out, it's big. Here's the wind and the pitch, and he is out. Swings and misses, strike 3. A good first inning for Tony Rex. We go to the bottom of the first. Oelwein and New Hampton are scoreless on the HuskyCast, 0-0. Here are some of the sponsors for the HuskyCast making the HuskyCast possible. I want to thank all of the sponsors because you're hearing this because of them. Performance Rehab is the premier choice for physical therapy for treating sports injuries in Northeast Iowa. Visit Todd Bradley and his team at Performance Rehab on the top of the hill in Oelwein on North Frederick Street. Todd also has an office with his team in Sumner. Taking care of Oelwein's pets and livestock since 1968 is Oelwein Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Ken McDonough, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, Dr. Janet Sears, DVM, proudly support all Oelwein Husky athletes and athletic teams. They're right across from City Park in Oelwein. Vogel Insurance, you're in better hands with Vogel Insurance. Call 319-283-1836. Vogel Insurance, downtown Oelwein. Make the right choice with Right Price Office Supply in downtown Oelwein. Dr. Leo supports all Oelwein Husky sports and all Oelwein Husky athletes. Dr. Leo's office in Oelwein is located at 204 8th Avenue Southeast. Oelwein Dental Associates supporting all Oelwein sports. They're at 7th Street Southeast in Oelwein, right across the street from the Dairy Queen. We go to the bottom of the first. Oelwein and New Hampton are scoreless, 0-0. Michael Mohlis set us up for the bottom of the first.
Thanks, Dan. For the Chickasaws, Alex Troina will be pitching with sophomore Trevor Ambrose catching. Leading off tonight for the Huskies, a little different lineup that they went with in Game 2 last night. Jared Ladderberg, followed by Bauska and then Johnston.
And there's the first pitch, and it is popped up a high, pop fly in the infield. The third baseman has it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
The batter, number 15, Kyle Bauska.
Kyle Bauska steps up to the plate for Oelwein, wearing a big number 15 on his back. No score here from Oelwein Veteran Park. 0-0, and a nice night for baseball. Bauska's a right-handed hitter. Here is the wind and the pitch, and it's high for a ball.
Yeah, for the Huskies, top of the order with 1 and 2, Ladderberg and Bauska. They're have the best averages for the Huskies so far this year, Dan.
The wind and the pitch, high, 2-0. Troina is the pitcher for New Hampton, number 4. He's behind on the count, though, to Bauska right now, 2-0. Here is the 2-0 pitch. There's ball 3, and the ball gets away from the catcher, but doesn't matter. Nobody's on base, 3-0.
Troina is New Hampton's best pitcher so far this year, has the most innings, and he's their number 1 guy. He's only a sophomore as well.
The wind and the pitch. Steve Reich, he was taken all the way, 3-1.
3-0 through curveball.
Did that a lot up there, too.
That's a pitcher with confidence who can throw a curveball at 3-0. Here's the wind and the pitch. And it is fouled on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Dan, up there, when we went and saw him the first time in that doubleheader, he pitched Game 2. He definitely threw a lot of curveballs first pitch, and even in just tough counts, he'll throw a curveball.
Here's the wind and the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. So Bauska's on base for the Huskies. He gets a walk.
Yeah, that's Kyle's
Back for Oelwein, first baseman Hud Johnston.
17th walk on the year. Kyle Bauska, 17th walk for the Huskies, leads the way for the Huskies, so he's a good guy to have in the number 2 hole.
And Hud Johnston steps up to the plate for the Huskies. He's number 25, right-handed hitter, 1 out, 1 on.
Hud leads the team in RBIs with 20 on the year.
From the stretch, the throw over to first, nothing doing. Breakfast all day, every day, Country Cottage Cafe across from City Park in Oelwein. And Kurt Solzma, Veteran Jones, has been helping investors reach their goals for 30 years in Oelwein, in downtown Oelwein. Here is the wind and the pitch from the stretch, actually. There's a ball. 1-0, 1 out. Runner on base for the Huskies. No score. We're in the bottom of the first. Hud Johnston is up for Oelwein from the right-hand side of the plate. Here's the windup and the pitch. 2-0.
Yeah, every conference team for sure knows who Hud Johnston is. Has played since he was a sophomore. So hitting the 3 spot, they're going to really try to work good strikes and stay away from him.
The 2-0 pitch, Hud takes a curveball for a strike. 2-1.
You'll see a lot of curveball, off-speed stuff like that. They try to keep him honest.
Tomorrow night we've got a doubleheader, a softball doubleheader. We'll be on at 5:45. The windup and the 2-1 pitch. The ball is stroked down the third base side, foul as Coach Gerhardt fields the ball. Now we're even at 2-2. From Veterans Park here in Oelwein, southern edge of town, on a real nice night for anything outdoors. From the stretch, Troina's pitch. There's a ball hit on the ground to the third base, where the ball goes through the third baseman's wickets, and everybody's going to be safe. Johnson reaches on an air. Oelwein's in business. Runners on first and second.
Yeah, Dan, that's an error by senior Kyle Smith for New Hampton, and now first and second with only 1 out for pitcher sophomore Tony Rex.
Tony Rex, a right-handed hitter, and he has damage. He could do some damage to New Hampton, help his own cause here, hopefully.
He comes in hitting. He's 4 of 11 on the year for .350 average.
Swung on, and the ball is rolled slowly to the shortstop. He bobbles it over to second, and he's safe. Everybody's safe. The ball goes into center field, and the run scores for the Huskies. Oelwein gets a gift run, but they all count. It's 1-0 Oelwein. Runners on first and second.
That's going to be an error from shortstop Tucker Tang. He bobbled it and then tried to force the throw to second to get Hud out. And second baseman Noah Eichenberger couldn't corral it. So now the Huskies are in business, up 1-0 with first and second again for for Wade Michaels, the right fielder tonight.
Wade playing right as Michael just said, and Oelwein gets an unearned run. They lead 1-0. Runners on first and second. There's still only 1 out. The Cutting Edge, they've got you covered. South Frederick Street in downtown Oelwein. And there's a meeting between the umpire and the catcher.
We have a courtesy runner, Jonah Woodward, in the game for Tony Rex. He's on first base now.
Sun sinking low in the skies. We're approaching dusk here in Oelwein. Lights are not on yet. We're in the time of the year where we get a lot of daylight, the end of June. Troina's on the mound for New Hampton. McMillan's up for the Huskies, and he takes a strike, or a ball, I'm sorry. Wade Michaels, is up. Wade Michaels, a right fielder. Ball 1 out. 4 runners on first and second. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Oelwein, the wind and the pitch. And there's a ball hit sharply into left field. That's going to lie in for a base hit, and the runners are all stopping. So we've got bases loaded for Oelwein as the Huskies are in business.
Yeah, good piece of hitting from Wade Michaels there. Finds a fastball over the inside part of the plate. It hits it right over third baseman Carl Smith's head for a base hit.
Austin Arndt comes up for the Huskies, the shortstop, the right-handed hitter, and Troina's in big trouble here in the first inning. Thanks to Marty Stacy from Luigi's for the onion rings, which we haven't started eating yet. Here's the wind and the pitch. 1-0. Bases loaded. Oelwein could do some serious damage right off the top here in the bottom of the first. The windup and the pitch. Swung on and missed by Arndt. 1-1. 1 out. A gapper here would probably score everybody. The windup and the pitch. It's in the dirt. 2-1. And a walk. Take a walk. A walk counts as an RBI, and it would send in a run. But I bet that's not what Arndt's thinking right now. The wind and the pitch. There's a ball hit right to the first baseman, and It's a double play, a huge inning-ending double play for New Hampton, getting out of the jam. So we go to the bottom of the first. Oelwein does score a run. However, they leave the bases loaded. But Oelwein does score one run. It's Oelwein 1, New Hampton nothing as we head into the top of the second inning here in Oelwein tonight, Veterans Park. Oelwein versus New Hampton, and I want to go over the sponsors before we send it to the top of the second inning. Fayette County's only affordable men's clothing store is Sam's Clothing in downtown Oelwein at North Frederick Street. They feature affordable name-brand clothing, casual wear, and tuxedo rental. Sam's Clothing, downtown Oelwein. Slide into Styles of Distinction for a Grand Slam value. Styles of Distinction, downtown Oelwein. And in the same building, cool off with an iced coffee latte or go for a smoothie at the Daily Grind. Mention this ad for a special discount. The Daily Grind, East Charles Street, downtown Oelwein. Proprietors Denise Wilson. Hinzigler Miller Insurance. Call Lyle Miller at 319-283-1555. Hinzigler Insurance, East Charles Street, downtown Oelwein. The Cutting Edge, they've got you covered. Downtown Oelwein. Studio 17, relax, renew, revive, because you need time for yourself too. Studio 17, East Charles Street in downtown Oelwein. We go to the top of the second. Oelwein leads New Hampton 1-0, and Michael Mohlis set us up here for the top of the second inning.
Leading off for New Hampton, we've got the four-hitter, first baseman Noah Hopp, followed by Kyle Smith and Alex Troina.
Hopp is a left-handed hitter. He's number 24, and he takes a ball.
No defensive changes for the Huskies. Tony Rex still on the hill.
Rex in the wind, and the pitch outside, 1-1. Or 2-0, I'm sorry. 2-0. Yes, Dick Clapper, eat all those onion rings. You need them. You're a growing boy. 2-0 is the count. Rex delivers to Hop. There's a ball, a pop fly into left field. Coming in, and the left fielder has it for the out. McMillan, 1 out.
Yeah, Noah Hop might be one of the best hitters in the conference for being only a freshman. And that's going to bring up third baseman senior Kyle Smith, who's having a pretty good senior campaign so far, hitting above 300.
Number 20 is Kyle, right-handed hitter. He's wearing his red jersey with white numbers, white pants, red shoes. Here's the windup and the pitch from Rex, and there's a ball hit into right field. This could be trouble if that's foul. So line catches a break there. 0-1, a long, loud foul. Strike.
Hard hit line drive, just foul. And now we'll see if Tony can stay ahead now, up 0-1.
And Oelwein in the game is up 1-0 in the top of the second inning. But Michael, New Hampton got out of trouble there in the bottom of the first. That was big. Here's the wind and Rex's pitch to Smith. Swung on and missed on an off-speed pitch. He had him out front.
Yeah, good curveball by Tony Rex there. Started in the middle of the plate, tailed outside, and Kyle Smith was way ahead of it. 0-2 now.
Kyle Smith, right-handed hitter. He's ready. Rex is ready. We're ready. Here's the wind and the pitch. And there's a line shot into right field. So 0-2. He comes back and is on.
Yeah, Kyle Smith is actually going to join fellow Husky baseball alum Aaron Rosensteel and at down in Pella, Iowa. They were playing at Central.
It's a nice town.
They're both going to play basketball there. So.
Is that where he's going?
And Pella is a nice town. Really nice place. Here's Troina, the pitcher, with a chance to help his own cause here, facing his counterpart, Rex. The wind and the pitch hit right back to his counterpart, Rex. Over to second for 1 out, and over to first. Double play! Oelwein's out of the inning. Double play, a nice double play there from the Huskies.
It's going to be a 1-6-3 double play, Dan. Great job by the Huskies.
Was a great job indeed. We go to the bottom of the second. Oelwein leads New Hampton 1-0 here tonight on the Husky Cast. Michael Mohlis will be back in a minute. First, though, I want to credit some of our sponsors before I go any further. Anytime Fitness in Oelwein is a 24-hour fitness facility that offers cardio equipment, weight training, tanning, and the new Beats new Wellbeats virtual exercise classes for members. Become part of the Anytime Fitness family where they work together to live healthier lives. Anytime Fitness, downtown Oelwein, across from Fairway. At Van & Over Jewelry, you'll appreciate their expertise, knowledge, and capabilities they have to offer in the diamond business. Their reputation in the jewelry business is unsurpassed over 52 years. That's Van & Over Jewelry, downtown Oelwein. Financial advisor Kurt Solzma of Edward Jones has been helping investors reach their goals for over 30 years. Call Kurt Solzma in downtown Oelwein today for all your financial needs. Kurt Solzma of Edward Jones, downtown Oelwein. Breakfast all day, every day. Country Cottage Cafe across from City Park in Oelwein. Hit an insurance home run with Vogel Insurance at 283-1836, 319-283-1836. Vogel Insurance in downtown Oelwein for all your insurance needs. Right Price Office Supply for your home, school, and office needs. Right Price Office Supply, South Frederick Street in Oelwein. And Covenant Clinic and Mercy Hospital are here to serve your health care needs at every stage of life. Covenant Clinic, Mercy Hospital, 8th Avenue Southeast in Oelwein. Let's go to the bottom of the second. Oelwein leads 1-0. Michael Mohlis, get us ready.
Duo for the Huskies is senior Grant McMillan.
Grant swings and misses on the first pitch, 0-1.
After Grant will be 8 and 9 hitters Kyle Woodraska and Sam Myatt.
The wind and the pitch outside. And Troina, Michael, got out of some big trouble there in that first inning. He had bases loaded with only one out, but he got out of it.
Yeah, key for the Huskies, get guys back on, put more pressure on them.
There's a strike, 1-2. Number 6.
Just can't let Troina settle in. He's pretty good once he settles in.
And here's his pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3, the ball's in the dirt. Toss over to first base, 1 out.
The batter, second baseman Kyle Woodraska.
Kyle Woodraska steps up now for the Huskies. It's number 2.
He's playing second base tonight for the Huskies.
Kyle, a good and dependable second baseman. 1 out, nobody on base for 1 in the bottom of the second as dusk approaches here. Pitch is a strike. Lights are not on yet. Nice night, 77 degrees at first pitch. No wind. The humidity's down. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-1.
Good job by Troina there. First pitch was a fastball right on the corner. Maybe just out as a called strike. He goes even farther out and Kyle chases.
The 1-1 pitch. Ooh, an off-speed pitch right in there. Strike 3. That was a nice pitch. And I'm starting to get the feeling that Troina is settling in and feeling good that he got out of that last inning, Michael.
Yeah, so far he's looked really, really sharp against McMillan and Woodraska. Now batting for the Huskies is third baseman Sam Myatt.
Myatt is a right-handed hitter, number 12. Here's the wind and the pitch. Number 12 looks at a ball. The wind and the pitch. Swung on and missed. 1-1 to Sam Myatt. As Michael just said, he's playing third base tonight for the Oelwein Huskies. Here's the wind and the pitch. There's a ball hit right back to the pitcher, Troina. He has it easily for the out. 2 outs.
That's 3.
Oh, 3 outs. 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the second, so it's a 1-2-3 inning. I know, Dick. There's 3 outs in baseball.
No runs.
Bottom of the second, Oelwein goes quietly. We go to the top of the third. It's Oelwein 1, New Hampton nothing here at the HuskyCast at www.huskycast.com. Recipes perfected over time at Luigi's Restaurant in Oelwein, South Frederick Street in Oelwein. They have pretty good onion rings, too, that I haven't tried yet tonight. Luigi's is the home. We'll also do the best Sunday brunch in Northeast Iowa, beginning every Sunday morning about 10:30, going till 1:30 or so in the afternoon. The Oelwein Husky Booster Club, where everyone is a member. Check them out at www.oelweinhuskyboosterclub.com. Call Flowers on Main for the freshest flowers in town. They have gifts and home decor and so much more. Call Flowers on Main at 283-7550, and they will deliver for you. Flowers on Main, South Fredericton, downtown Oelwein. Appliance Plus is your U.S. Cellular authorized agent located in Oelwein, Independence, and West Union. Appliance Plus is also your exclusive GE appliance dealer there where the Hardys used to be in Oelwein on South Frederick Street. Ridhoff Fueling Snitker Weber Company CPAs proudly supports the young men and women of Oelwein High School. They're located East Charles Street in downtown Oelwein. We go to the top of the third. Oelwein leads New Hampton 1-0. Michael Mohlis, tell us about it.
Huskies say the same with Rex and Rao for the battery. 1 hit allowed by Rex, and stepping in as right fielder Noah Anderson.
Noah is a right-handed hitter. The wind and Rex's pitches is a ball. 1-0.
Just a little high there on the pitch. Fastball just up.
Rex with the sun in his eyes, the wind in the delivery. Ball, 2-0.
Yeah, a little bit later, about this time of night, the next 30 minutes or so, Dan, throwing across the diamond from third base to first is going to be a problem.
The outfield is now almost completely in shade except right field. The 2-0 pitch, 3-0, and Rex is behind the first hitter of the inning. Rex is in the hole to the leadoff hitter for New Hampton, but Oelwein leads 1-0. The wind and the pitch, taking all the way, is number 15, 3-1 to Nathan Anderson. The cutting edge, they've got you covered. South Frederick, downtown Oelwein. 3-1 is the count to Anderson. As we begin the top of the third inning, the windup and the pitch. And there's a strike. Caught the outside corner, 3-2.
Yeah, so far this umpire gives a little bit on the outside corner, so we'll see if Troyna and sophomore Tony Rex try to attack it.
The windup and the 3-2 pitch. And it's fouled straight back, 3-2. Nice press box here at Oelwein Veterans Park where we're in. We're facing the northeast, right directly behind home plate. No wind tonight. The lights are now on, but haven't taken effect yet. The windup and the 3-2 pitch. Here we go, and it is fouled out of play. So we'll continue Rex versus Anderson here in the top to start the top of the third inning.
Something a lot of these New Hampton hitters do a good job of is like hanging around in counts, fouling off pitches. Every time we've seen them, Dan, they've done a good job of fouling off tough pitches.
Here we go again. They're disciplined hitters. There's another pitch fouled out of play into the New Hampton dugout. The New Hampton's dugout's on the right side, first base side. Oelwein's home team dugout's on the third base side, left side. New Hampton's uniforms kind of look like St. Louis Cardinals, red and white. Here's the windup and the pitch. 3-2 pitch, fouled out of play. We'll continue this battle between Rex and Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson moved up tonight from the 8 spot to the 7 spot, so far looking like he's pretty good at battling at the plate. I know he's been hitting better lately.
If anything, he's making Rex work, and Rex is thrown. He's done nicely so far, but he's thrown a lot of pitches. The windup and the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3! He looks at strike 3. He's out.
Yeah, good pitch by Tony Rex, just catching the inside corner. But that's a great at-bat by Nathan Anderson, the right fielder, as Tony threw about 9 or 10 pitches there, and that's a good job by a leadoff hitter, and that's what they need to do, work a count, make him throw a lot of pitches. Next up for the Chickasaws is second baseman Noah Eichenberger.
Eichenberger, a right-handed hitter for the Chickasaws. The windup and the pitch outside, and New Hampton comes in with an impressive overall record of 15-4. Oelwein, not bad, 11-9. The Huskies tonight in their their gold tops, purple trim, white pants, purple caps in the field. Here's the wind and the 1-0 pitch. The ball's hit on the third, down to the third baseman, Myatt. Myatt bobbles the ball over to first. This is going to be close. He's out. Johnston makes a nice dig. 2 outs.
Yeah, good job by Sam Myatt staying with it. Dan bobbled it, had to pick it up, had a long wind to throw it across, but just got second baseman Noah Eichenberger in time. Next up for the Chickasaws is sophomore catcher Trevor Ambrose, and Dan, he's still hitting pretty well so far this season.
A big right-handed batter. Here's Rex's wind and the pitch, and Ambrose fouls it away on the right-hand side.
Yeah, Dan, Huskies can't get fooled by this number 9 hitter. He's a very good hitter. He has a couple home runs this year, and he's hitting right around 300.
0-1 is the count, top of the third, 2 outs. We have a 1-0 score. Oelwein leads.
Actually, Dan, Trevor Ambrose is actually hitting 389 so far.
And he's a ninth hitter.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing. A number 9 hitter hitting almost 400. That tells you they're a very good team. 0-2. Well, he doesn't look good there. 0-2, and he swings and misses on the 0-2 pitch, so he's gone. Strike 3. So his batting average will drop maybe a point or 2 there. Rex looking good so far. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It's Oelwein 1, the New Hampton Chickasaws 0. I'm Dan Stasi with Michael Mohlis. This is the Husky Cast. Michael will be back in just a second. First, though, I want to credit some of our sponsors who make the Husky Cast possible. Among them are Performance Rehab is the premier choice for physical therapy for treating sports injuries in Northeast Iowa. Visit Todd Bradley and his team at Performance Rehab in Oelwein and Sumner for all your rehabilitation needs. Todd's office in Oelwein's on the top of the hill on North Frederick Street in Oelwein. The Oelwein Veterinary Clinic takes care of all of Oelwein's area's pets and livestock, and they have since 1968. The Oelwein Veterinary Clinic is right across from City Park in Oelwein, right next to the Country Cottage Cafe. Dr. Ken McDonough, Dr. Veterinary Medicine, and Dr. Janet Sears, also DVM, are proud supporters of all Oelwein Husky athletics. Again, they're right across from City Park in Oelwein is the Oelwein Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Anthony Leo, MD, proudly supports all Oelwein High School athletes and sports teams. Dr. Leo's office in Oelwein is at 204 8th Avenue Southeast in Oelwein. And Oelwein Dental Associates and Dr. Kruger's. They proudly support all Oelwein sports. They're located at 7th Street Southeast in Oelwein. And slide into Styles of Distinction for a Grand Slam value. Styles of Distinction, downtown Oelwein. And the Cutting Edge, they've got you covered. South Frederick Street, also in downtown Oelwein. We go to the bottom of the third. Oelwein leads New Hampton here on tonight's Husky Cast. From Oelwein, it's Oelwein 1, New Hampton nothing, and let's get it going for the bottom of the third. Here again is Michael Mohlis.
With Troyna on the hill still for the Chickasaws, we're back to the top of the order with Jared Latterberg, Kyle Bauska, Hud Johnson, and Tony Rex.
Latterberg, a left-handed hitter, looks at a ball. Number 16 for the Huskies. Oelwein's run came in the bottom of the first inning. That's all they've needed so far. The wind and the pitch, it's high, 2-0. Oelwein had bases loaded in the bottom of the first after scoring that run, but Troyna was able to get out of it. Here's the wind and the pitch. There's a strike, 2-1.
So far, good patient approach from Jared Latterberg. Start of the game, he swung at the first pitch and popped out.
Okay, here's the wind and the pitch. It's high, off-speed pitch that just didn't do much except for go way high, and now Latterberg's ahead in the count, 3-1.
Good hitters count right here, Dan.
Sure is. Here's the wind and the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. So he's not going to get on the hit, but he does get on the walk. So Oelwein has their leadoff hitter on.
Good job by Jared Latterberg being patient. 3-1. He would have swung away if he found a good pitch. Took ball 4. And now Kyle Bauska, who is hitting .362 for the Huskies, steps in.
The right-handed hitter, the wind and the pitch, it's in the dirt, 1-0. The lights are on here, 77 degrees at game time, very little wind, a beautiful night. The humidity came down for this game. Just a nice night for baseball. The lights not really taking effect yet as dusk is approaching. 1-0. The wind and the pitch, and there's a ball stroked to the ground, on the ground to the shortstop. Over to first, and there's an out there, but the runner advances to second.
Yeah, good play there, Dan, by Tucker Tangy, the junior shortstop for the Chickasaws, coming to get the ball, and then with a pretty good arm throws out Kyle by a step. Kyle got his job done, though.
Yep.
Brought over Jared Latterberg. So now Hud Johnson and Tony Rex will have a chance to drive in Latterberg.
And it would be a big run, too. A productive out.
Maybe get a few.
Johnston, the right-handed hitter, steps up to the plate. There's the wind, and Troyna's pitch is a ball. 1-0.
Curveball in the dirt to Hud. A lot of teams always mix up pitches. Hud Johnson doesn't see too many fastballs during his senior season. Sees a lot of changeups, curveballs, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Hud, a big right-handed hitter. Troyna looks in. Instead, he fakes a throw to second in a play that very seldom works, and nothing happening there.
One thing I'm surprised about, Dan, is how many teams kind of play Hud straight up. I'd almost shift guys
exactly
over to left
straight
field.
Up. And there's a pitch in the dirt. The runner advances to third. Safe. Standing up. So Oelwein is 90 feet from making this game 2-0. Yeah, looking at the outfield, Michael, everybody's straight away in right, center, and left. You don't see that very often in baseball. Here's the wind and the pitch to Hud Johnston. On the ground to the third baseman. He has it. To home, and we've got a close play at home, and the runner is out. At home, Latterberg's out. So New Hampton comes up with a big play defensively there. 2 outs.
I don't know if I even saw a signal there from the umpire, but a little collision there. Catcher Trevor Ambrose kind of blocked the plate, which he's not supposed to be able to do. And
he did block the plate. There's no
Ladberg
doubt.
runs into him, had nowhere to slide, but Trevor Ambrose stays with it, gets the out for the Chickasaws. Huge out for the Chickasaws.
It's a big
right
out,
there.
and New Hampton's getting these big outs, staying in the game. Here's Rex, the pitcher. He fouls the first pitch out of play right back here, 1-0. So Johnston's on first for the Huskies. 2 outs, bottom of the third. Oelwein leads 1-0, but they could have been leading by more right now. Hopefully these runs won't matter. New Hampton's made some good defensive plays to stay in this game. Here's the wind and Troyna's pitch, and there's a ball, 1-1 to number 9, Tony Rex.
Sophomore, he's a good catcher.
Yeah, the catcher is big, as Tim Gilson just said, number 21.
But
He's
only a sophomore, very good.
He's very good.
He's making good stops. 2-1 is the count now.
Yeah, Dan, I actually umpired him last year when New Hampton came to Oelwein for a freshman-sophomore game, and he was very good behind the plate, and he's a very good defensive catcher for the Chickasaws.
And there's a ball hit to the third baseman. Over to first, and New Hampton's out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the third. Oelwein does not score. They leave a runner on first. After 3 full innings of play from Oelwein Veterans Park, a good one. It's Oelwein 1, New Hampton nothing. Michael Mohlis will set us up for the top of the 4th inning coming up here in just a second. First off, though, I want to credit some of our sponsors who make the Husky Cast possible. Appliance Plus is your U.S. Cellular authorized agent located in Oelwein, Independence, and West Union. Appliance Plus is also your exclusive GE appliance dealer. Appliance Plus in Oelwein is located on South Frederick Street, right where the Hardys used to be. Call Flowers on Main for the freshest flowers in town. They have gifts and home decor and so much more. Call Flowers on Main at 319-283-7550, and they will deliver for you. Flowers on Main, downtown Oelwein, South Frederick Street. The Oelwein Husky Booster Club is where everyone is a member. Check them out at www.oelweinhuskyboosterclub.com, and we appreciate them for letting us do this. They've been supporting the Husky Cast big. Recipes perfected over time at Luigi's Restaurant, South Frederick Street in Oelwein. Also, Luigi's home to the best Sunday brunch in Northeast Iowa. Every Sunday from 10:30 in the morning till about 1:30 or so in the afternoon. Luigi's, South Frederick and Oelwein. We go to the top of the 4th. Oelwein leading New Hampton 1-0. Here's Michael Mohlis to get us set up for it.
Thank you, Dan. For the Chickasaws, leading off the top of the 4th, they're back to the top of the order with Cole McDonald, followed by Connor Cleveland and Tucker Tangy.
McDonald is a left-handed hitter. Lights are on here now as we now pretty much at dusk. Number 16, McDonald, hits the ball to second baseman Woodrask on the ground. Over to Johnston, 1 out. Easy ground ball out.
Good out number 1 from the Huskies. As a pitcher, you want a lot of pitchers love strikeouts, but when you can get a 1 pitch, 1 out.
That's great.
Very crucial.
That's crucial. That's great. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's economizing. That's a good deal. The wind and the pitch to Connor Cleveland. Line to Woodraska. It's even better when you get 2 pitches and 2 outs. Woodraska, the second baseman, takes care of that. It was hit hard, but right to him.
Chickasaws, Tucker Tangy.
Tucker Tangy, number 9, coming up, the right-handed hitter.
Yeah, defensively, the Huskies, Dan, have the same outfield and infield with McMillan, Ladberg, and Michaels across the outfield.
The wind and the pitch. And we could have a 3-pitch inning. The ball is hit to Austin Art and an easy infield pop fly, and that's what Rex needed. Rex has been throwing quite a few pitches. Not that inning,
Actually,
3 pitches,
yeah,
3 outs.
Currently, Dan, that's through 4. Tony Rex at the minimum at 39 pitches only, so he's doing a very good job so far, Dan.
Oh, he has been. That was a great inning. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Oelwein leads New Hampton 1-0. Michael will set us up for the bottom of the 4th right after I credit some more of our sponsors on the Husky Cast. Breakfast all day, every day. Country Cottage Cafe across from City Park in Oelwein. Financial advisor Kurt Solzma of Edward Jones has been helping investors reach their financial goals for over 30 years. Call Kurt Solzma in downtown Oelwein today for all your financial needs. Kurt Solzma of Edward Jones, downtown Oelwein. Hit an insurance home run with Vogel Insurance at 283-1836. Vogel Insurance, downtown Oelwein. Right Price Office Supply for all your home, school, and office needs. Right Price Office Supply, South Frederick Street in downtown Oelwein. Covenant Clinic and Mercy Hospital are here to serve your health care needs at every single stage of life. Covenant Clinic, Mercy Hospital, 8th Avenue Southeast in Oelwein. And Todd Bradley's team at Performance Rehab on top of the hill on North Frederick Street in Oelwein for all your physical therapy needs. Todd Bradley, Performance Rehab, top of the hill, Oelwein. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0, Oelwein. Michael Mohlis, set us up.
Due up for the Huskies, we have 5, 6, 7 with Wade Michaels, Austin Arndt, and Grant McMillan.
There's a pitch, and the catcher fields it. It's just nubbed on the ground. Oh, that ball gets away from the first baseman. Another error for New Hampton. The catcher for New Hampton should have had it, number 21. That's big Trevor Ambrose, but he couldn't get the ball over to the first baseman, and so Oelwein's leadoff hitter's on.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to get credit for the error there. Dan Ambrose fielded it, threw it low to Noah Hopp, but it definitely hit his glove, Dan, so I'd probably give the error to Noah Hopp, the freshman there. Either way, leadoff runner for the Huskies with Austin Arndt stepping in.
That's good. Their leadoff runner's on, and Austin Arndt's a right-handed hitter, number 11. The pitch is a strike. 0-1 to Arndt. I'm Dan Stasi alongside Michael Mohlis. Good to have you along tonight on a beautiful night here in Oelwein. It was 79 degrees a while ago, the wind and the pitch. And the ball gets past the catcher. This is uncharacteristic. Ambrose lets one past him. So it's 1-1. The pitch was a ball. Probably a pass ball there, I think, Michael.
Yeah, it could have been. It was either way. I mean, once again, another error for New Hampton. Wild pitch, pass ball. Doesn't matter for the Huskies. They'll take it either way. Getting the guy to second base.
Second base now with nobody out. Runner in scoring position. And another run here would be very important.
Bunt defense comes in. Noah Hopp from first comes in.
And there's another pitch that gets past Ambrose. That one's probably a wild pitch for sure. 2-1. And now a runner on third for the Huskies.
Yeah, that was definitely a wild pitch there. Dan, it was tough for Trevor Ambrose to get in the dirt and get way outside to block that. Bunt defense off for the Chickasaws. Infield at regular depth.
The 2-1 pitch, and it is a ball. 3-1.
Once again, ball in the dirt. Looks like Alex Troina, a sophomore, getting a little rowdy. And Owen's dugout's getting into it now a little bit.
Arndt, the junior, hits one into right center field. The right fielder's coming on, and he doesn't catch the ball. He doesn't catch the ball. The run scores, and it's now 2-0 Huskies. The right fielder had to come way in for that. He dove for it, and it looked like for a second, Michael, he had it, but the ball just popped out of his glove as he hit the ground.
Yeah, great try by Nathan Anderson coming in a long ways, trying to make a diving catch, shoestring catch. Ball, I think, was in his glove, maybe trapped it, but then he bounced out of his glove, and that's going to go down as a hit for junior Austin Arndt, hitting an RBI. So now with Huskies lead 2-0 with Austin Arndt at first and Grant McMillan due up. Coach Corey McDonald steps out to talk to the infield umpire about possibly a transfer rule taking place.
I thought it was an out. I really did until the ball came out. It was a nice try by the right fielder. He had to run a long way.
Yeah, and that's going to stay. The umpire's not going to change his call. Said it bounced out of his glove, and there's no transfer rule type thing that's going to happen. So the Huskies get a hit and an RBI, makes it 2-0. Runner on first, nobody out for senior Grant McMillan.
The right-handed hitter, number 6. He pops one up on the right side of the infield, and the first baseman calls for it. There's the first out of the inning for New Hampton. 2-0 now, Oelwein in the bottom of the 4th. Kyle Wodraska comes up, the second baseman, number 2.
Coach Gerhardt giving signs to Wodraska and Arndt. Maybe a steal or bunt could be on. Maybe it could just be no signs.
Troina from the stretch. The pitch swung on. The ball is hit to the shortstop. He has it over to first, 2 outs, but the runner does advance to second.
Slowly hit ball by Wodraska, and Tucker Tangy comes up, gets the ball at the edge of the grass, and throws out. Wodraska, Austin Arndt advances on the play. So now runner in scoring position, and this is big spot for the Huskies once again with runners in scoring position, see if they can drive them in. 2 outs, Sam Myatt, the number 9 hitter, up to bat.
See if Sam can knock in a big run here. He's batting from the right-hand side of the plate. Ball 1 in the dirt. Oelwein leads 2-0. These two teams playing another good game. They played a very entertaining doubleheader first Friday night of June up in New Hampton. Here's the wind and the pitch. The ball stroked foul on the right-hand side, just barely foul, not hit hard.
And that the way the grass is now with the Huskies, with Coach Gerhardt switching up from last couple of years, it's a narrow baseline, and it can hit the edge of the grass, and it could have came back in if Troina would have let that go Sam Myatt didn't run right away, that ball might have went fair.
Mhm.
He could have got an out.
The stretch and the pitch, and it is a ball, 2-1.
I've seen it happen before here, Dan, and guys that have played here more often might take a chance. Noah Hopp, being a freshman, should have said something to him.
Here's the stretch and the pitch, and it's outside, 3-1. Another run here would be real big for the Huskies as they lead 2-0. We saw earlier this month, Michael, this New Hampton team is explosive. Ball 4, so runners on first and second. Oelwein had a big lead in that first game of the doubleheader up there in early June. And New Hampton scored 8 or 9 runs to get back in the game and almost won the first game of that doubleheader.
Yeah, Dan, Coach Corey McDonald does a good job with his guys getting them to get going, and once they start hitting, they hit in bunches.
Here's Jared Latterberg, the left-handed hitter, number 16, and he hits one foul on the right side.
Good swing from Jared, good connection, but he's way out in front. Line drive he hit. He needs to sit back and try to drive it more to right center or up the middle.
And Coach McDonald now coming out to talk to Troina. The Cutting Edge, they've got you covered. South Frederick Street in downtown Oelwein. Country Cottage Cafe, way South Frederick Street, Oelwein, actually across from City Park, where they serve breakfast all day, every single day, 7 days a week. 2-0, Oelwein leads New Hampton. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. So far, Tony Rex has pitched a good game for the Huskies, allowing no runs. And Troina, for New Hampton, Michael, he's been a little spotty. Not dominant, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's had some instances where he started off a little slow, settled in, and now the Huskies have a chance this inning. They've already scored a run and one hit this inning so far. Big spot for Jared Latterberg.
And Jared hits one into center field, but it's right straight to the center fielder. Hit it hard, but right straight to the center fielder. So we go to the top of the 5th inning. So far, so good. Oelwein is winning against a very good New Hampton team. We go to the top of the 5th. Oelwein 2, New Hampton nothing. Oelwein leaves 2 runners on base. 2-0 Oelwein. We go to the 5th. I'm Dan Stasi. Michael Mohlis will be back in a second. First off, though, I want to credit some of our sponsors who make the Husky Cast possible. Ridhoff, Fueling, Snitker, Weber & Company CPAs proudly support the young men and women of Oelwein High School. They're located at East Charles Street, right in the heart of downtown Oelwein. Dr. Anthony Leo, MD, proudly supports all Oelwein High School athletes and sports teams. Dr. Leo's office in Oelwein is at 204 8th Avenue Southeast. Oelwein Dental Associates supports all Oelwein sports. They're at 7th Street Southeast in Oelwein, right across from the Dairy Queen. The Oelwein Veterinary Clinic takes care of all of the Oelwein area's pets and livestock, and they have since 1968. Dr. Ken McDonough, DVM, Dr. Janet Sears, DVM, proudly support all Oelwein Husky athletics. 2-0 Oelwein over New Hampton. Setting up the top of the 5th is Michael Mohlis.
Thanks, Dan. Duo for the Chickasaws is 4, 5, 6 in their order. Noah Hopp, Kyle Smith, and Alex Troina. Huskies stay the same defensively with Rex on the hill and Troy Rao catching. First pitch to Hop. He lines outside pitch right down the left field line for a base hit. Grant McMillan gets the ball, throws it in, and it's a no-out single for Noah Hop.
And Kyle Smith steps to the plate, and that's what New Hampton needs. One pitch, one hit, they got a runner on first, and that's what they needed, trailing 2-0. The lights now taking effect here at Oelwein Veterans Park. A beautiful night, and now we got a courtesy runner for New Hampton. Michael, I didn't see who that was.
That's going to be a pinch runner, I believe. Noah Hop's playing first base. I believe that's Adam Werzer, an outfielder, sophomore, for the Chickasaws. And Dan, while we have a minute, Noah Hop is only a freshman, hitting 4 for New Hampton, and he's been very impressive. He's had 4 hits we've seen in 3 games against him on the outside corner, which he drove it to left center or left field. So he's a very good batter. And now entering is actually going to be Connor Ferricks, number 23, backup catcher and a junior for New Hampton. So nobody out, one guy on with Kyle Smith up for New Hampton.
He's number 20. He bats from the right-hand side of the plate, Kyle Smith. So New Hampton, a good start here in the 5th. Here's the stretch. From the stretch, the pitch is a ball. 1-0. Rex has gone the whole way for the Huskies so far. He's pitched a nice game, has not allowed any runs yet. Let's hope it stays that way. Number 20 up for the Chickasaws in his red uniform with white numbers and white pants, wearing a red helmet. They all wear red shoes for the Chickasaws. And Tony Rex steps off first play, or the pitcher's mound.
Just keeping Ferrex honest there as a pinch runner, assuming he's probably pretty good.
I have
decent
a feeling
speed, decent, probably
he's gonna go
smart on the base pass.
I have a feeling he's going to run.
Well, he knows he got a different catcher.
When he is running, the pitch is a ball. There's a throw down to second. It's going to be close. Safe. Oh, he just got in. The pitch was actually a strike. 1-1. So he was going.
Yeah, I know. I think Coach McDonald found out earlier today Mason Shannon might not have been in the lineup because they asked her in the sophomore game why Troy Rao wasn't catching during the sophomore game, but he knows it's not senior Mason Shannon back there.
He must have known,
Michael,
because he went in the very first pitch. The ball, there's a pitch, ball in the dirt, and the runner advances to third, and he's fast.
Yeah, Connor Ferrick's pretty good runner, but anybody Coach McDonald has, he's going to test a young sophomore Troy Rao, test his arm whenever he can, knowing that it's not Mason Shannon behind the plate, who's one of the best catchers in the conference.
2-1 now is the count. Runner on third, nobody out. Ferentz runs up, and there's a pitch hit into right field. Lanneberg has it. Is it deep enough to score a run? It is. And New Hampton is now only down 2-1.
Yeah, good catch by Wade Michaels.
Michaels, I'm sorry. I said Vladimir Michaels.
Yeah, Michaels in the play in right field. Threw it and almost could have had Ferrex there, but throw was just a little off. And Troy Rao had to block it at the plate. So now it's going to be 2-1 with pitcher Alex Troina up for New Hampton.
Troina can help his own cause here. The Huskies still lead 2-1. One out. We're in the top of the fifth. A good ball game from Oelwein Veterans Park tonight. We're glad you're along on the Husky Cast. I'm Dan Stasi. That was Michael Mohlis. Tony Rex is the pitcher for the Huskies. He's in the wide end. Here's the pitch. The ball is hit into right field, and the ball gets past. Michael's in right field. And number 4, Troina's going to advance to second with probably a single and an error. So runner on second.
Yep, Dan, that's going to be a single and an E9 for Wade Michaels, unofficially, of course. But now that it's a time that looks like Austin Art's going to step in. But if I'm Troy Rao, the catcher, being a young catcher, I mean, it's tough. But somebody needs to go talk to Tony, settle him down. Looks like New Hampton is starting to get on to young sophomore Tony Rex.
And this is what I was worried about, Michael.
So they don't have a ton of seniors out there, but maybe Hud Johnston or Austin Art, Sam Myatt, somebody needs to step in. Just go talk to Tony, settle him down a little bit.
Nathan Anderson steps in for New Hampton, the right-handed hitter, number 15. And there's a strike. 0-1. This is a big hitter. Runner on second. 2-1. Oelwein leads. We're in the top of the fifth. One out for New Hampton. They have a chance, though, here to take the lead. Runner in scoring position, if with a gapper. No doubt. 0-1, the pitch. And there's a pitch just missing. 1-1.
Yeah, Anderson saying 294 on the year, Dan. So pretty decent hitter so far. He has, at the start of the year, wasn't hitting in the everyday lineup, but he is now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's the 1-1 pitch. We have one out. And there's a ball. 2-1.
Tony getting a little too fine. Tony Rex getting a little too fine with his pitches. Trying to stay out of the middle of the plate where he's left a few at the start of this inning, and see if he can come back on a 2-1 pitch and bring a strike.
Here it is, from the stretch. There's a strike, 2-2, one out. So this next pitch is a big one. The runner on second not being challenged at all. The lights now pretty much taking full effect as it's dusk now here in Oelwein on a beautiful night. It was 79 degrees at game time. Okay, here we go from the stretch. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, a big strikeout.
Yeah, huge out right there, Dan. That's a huge out, number 2 for the Huskies. And great job by Tony Rex making Nathan Anderson chase high on a high fastball. That's going to bring up number 8 batter, junior Noah Eichenberger. He grounded out to third baseman Sam Myatt in his last at-bat.
He's number 17. He hits from the right-hand side of the plate. This is a big batter in this inning, in this game, really. And there's the first pitch fouled out of play. So Tony Rex is ahead of his counterpart, or his opponent right now, number 17, 0-1.
Yeah,
Tony's gone all the way for Oelwein.
Yeah, so far only at 50 pitches through 4 2/3, so hasn't thrown too many pitches, Dan.
The 0-1 pitch, there's a ball. Well, that fourth inning, he got out in 3 pitches, so that helped him, I'm sure.
Yeah, and he was sitting at 36 before that through 3, so not too bad by Tony. Pretty efficient so far.
Well, New Hampton and Michael, as you said, has a lot of players with extremely high batting averages. They're very aggressive at the plate. 1-1 is the count. Swung and fouled back. Now we're 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. 1-2. 2 outs. Top of the 5th on the Husky cast. Oelwein Dental Associates supports all Oelwein sports. 7th Street Southeast in Oelwein. Dr. Krugers are there. 1-2. 2 outs. Here it is from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And it's fouled out of play. So we'll do it all over again. Somebody's car got hit, I think. I didn't see it, but everybody's laughing. That usually means that it just missed somebody. Okay. They're not laughing.
1-2 count now. 1-2.
Here we go. 1-2. 2 outs. There's a ball hit into left field. Foul, barely. Ooh, that was close. So, okay.
Good break for the Huskies right there.
That was a big
foul
break
on the swing from Noah Eichenberger.
That a big break for Oelwein. That would have easily scored the run. So 1-2. 2 outs. Top of the 5th. Oelwein leads 2-1. New Hampton has a runner on second.
A lot of young Husky baseball and softball players out tonight wearing their jerseys here at the ballpark.
Sure. The stretch, the pitch. Swung out and missed, strike 3. Tony Rex and Oelwein gets out of the inning with the lead still. A big strikeout there. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Oelwein 2, New Hampton 1. And Michael Mols will set up the bottom of the 5th here in just a moment on the Husky Cast. We're glad you're along tonight, having fun bringing you the game. Here are some of the sponsors. Fayette County's only true men's clothing stores in downtown Oelwein on North Frederick Street. That's Sam's Clothing. They feature affordable name brand clothing, casual wear, and tuxedo rental. Sam's Clothing, downtown Oelwein. Cool off with an iced coffee latte or go for a smoothie at the Daily Grind in downtown Oelwein on East Charles. Mention this ad for a special discount. The Daily Grind, East Charles Street in downtown Oelwein. And in the same place, shield your eyes from the sun's glare with a great selection of shades for guys and gals at Styles of Distinction, East Charles, downtown Oelwein. Hint Ziegler Miller Insurance. Call Lyle Miller at 319-283-1555. Hint Ziegler Insurance at East Charles Street, downtown Oelwein. The Cutting Edge, they've got you covered. South Frederick Street in downtown Oelwein. Studio 17, relax, renew, revive, because you need time for yourself too. Studio 17, East Charles Street, downtown Oelwein. Don's Pharmacy, your home team family pharmacy, South Frederick Street, downtown Oelwein, and taking care of all of their clients, both home and away. Cornerstone Realtors, South Frederick Street in Oelwein. Now we go to the bottom of the 5th. Oelwein leads New Hampton 2-1. Set us up for the bottom of the 5th, Michael.
Thank you, Dan. Duo for the Huskies is 2, 3, and 4 with Bauska, Johnston, and Tony Rex.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Bauska's a right-handed hitter. He fouls the first pitch out of play.
Troyna is still pitching for the Chickasaws. He's given up 2 hits so far, 1 run, or 2 runs off 2 hits, a couple errors.
Troyna's wind, and the pitch is a strike, 0-2. A big gap in right center. So if he could land one there, he might get a double or triple. There's a ball. 1-2. Kyle Bauska. We're in the bottom of the 5th again. It's 2-1 if you just dialed us up. And there's a high pop fly into center field. Center fielder come running in, and he makes a nice running catch for the outs. 1 out.
The battle for the Huskies first baseman, Hud Johnston.
And you may have just heard Tim Gilson say Hud Johnston comes up to the plate.
Yeah, Dan, with the kind of high skies tonight, it's kind of at the point during the night where it gets kind of tough to see pop-ups and fly balls. So it's essential as an infielder to point out every fly ball.
Hud Johnston swings and taps that one foul, just gets a little piece of it. 0-1, goes right back to the backstop. Yeah, it would be kind of tricky right now in the outfield, Michael, because it's dusk and the lights are taking full effect. It'd be tricky right now. Here's the wind and the pitch, and Hud takes a ball, 1-1.
Yeah, Dan, just saying from experience, been in the situation on the infield where times like this is where you have to point out all pop-ups and fly balls.
2-1's the count. Now, I played right field a lot, Michael, and I didn't like it sometimes. Sometimes it could be real tricky. You don't get a lot of balls hit to you out there, but when you do, it can be tricky. 2-1's the count, and there's a ball hit slowly to the second baseman on the ground. He should have it for the outing. He does, over to first, 2 outs.
2 quick outs for Troina in the 5th, and now pitcher Tony Rex will step in. He's reached on an error, and he's also grounded out to third base.
So Tony facing his counterparts, Troina, as both these pitchers have gone the distance, really battling hard tonight. Both pitchers have. Give them both credit. Troina and Rex. Rex from the right-hand side of the plate. He's number 9. Ball over his head, 1-0. Pretty nice crowd here tonight enjoying the ball game, and it's been a good game. Here's the windup and the pitch. And there's a pop fly. The catcher going back, and he can't get it. The ball's off the bar. 1-1.
Yeah, pretty good hop from catcher Trevor Ambrose, the sophomore for the Chickasaws.
He wanted that.
Just ran out of real estate there.
He wanted that, but he just barely, as Michael just said, he just barely ran out of real estate. Okay, 1-1's the count. Here's Troina's wind and the pitch to his counterpart. There's a ball hit into left field. It's going to be a base hit for Rex. So Oelwein keeps the inning alive. Rex reaches safely with a single.
Yeah, good piece of hitting from Tony Rex. We're going to have courtesy runner junior Jonah Woodward entering the game with Wade Michaels due up.
Okay, so number 5 comes up for the Huskies. Wade Michaels, right fielder tonight for Oelwein.
Yeah, Wade has singled, and he's also reached on an error. So on-base percentage is 1,000 tonight. 2 outs, big spot for Wade.
Here's Troina's pitch to Michaels, and there's a ball hit into center field. Should be an easy out. We say that, and a lot of times it's not, but there it is. So we go to the top of the 6th inning. It is still Oelwein 2, New Hampton 1. A good game tonight here on the Husky Cast. Michael Mohlis will be back in a minute to set us up here in the top of the 6th, right after I give some of our sponsors some credit. Anytime Fitness in Oelwein is a 24-hour fitness facility that offers cardio equipment, weight training, tanning, and the new Wellbeats virtual exercise classes for members. Become part of the Anytime Fitness family where they work together to live healthier lives. Anytime Fitness, downtown Oelwein. At Van & Over Jewelry, you'll appreciate their expertise, knowledge, and capabilities they have to offer in the diamond business. Their reputation in the jewelry business is unsurpassed over 52 years. That's Van & Over Jewelry, downtown Oelwein. Financial advisor Kurt Solzma of Edward Jones has been helping investors reach their goals for over 30 years. Call Kurt Solzma in downtown Oelwein today for all your financial needs. Kurt Solzma of Edward Jones, downtown Oelwein. Breakfast all day, every day at the Country Cottage Cafe across from City Park in Oelwein. Hit an insurance home run with Vogel Insurance. Call Matt Vogel at 319-283-1836. Vogel Insurance, just east of the bowling alley in downtown Oelwein. Make the right choice with Right Price Office Supply in downtown Oelwein. We go to the top of the 6th. Oelwein leads New Hampton 2-1. To set up the top of the 6th is Michael Mohlis.
Thank you, Dan. Leading off for the Chickasaws, number 9 hitter Trevor Ambrose. And then we'll be back to the top with McDonald and Cleveland. Also, Dan, got to say, Coach Kempel's out tonight. Football coach. He was watching a little bit of baseball tonight. First pitch fouled away by Ambrose out to the third base side. Makes it 0-1 with Rex on the mound, Rao catching. Across the infield's Myatt, Arndt, Woodraska, and Hud Johnston.
Okay, thank you, Michael, as I get a chance to take a breath there. And here's the wind in Rex's pitch, and that is SD right to...
That's Trevor Ambrose.
Trevor Ambrose. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong team's roster. I'm looking at Oelwein. Trevor Ambrose, the catcher, right-handed hitter. The 0-2 pitch to Trevor Ambrose from Rex. Here it is. It's a strike 3. He's out. Rex is making some nice pitches, Michael. I'm really impressed.
Yeah,
he's not overpowering, but he's just making good pitches.
That was a great, looked like a little two-seam fastball across the inside corner to the right-handed Ambrose. Catches the corner, and it's a called strike 3.
All righty.
It's going to bring up left-handed top of the order DH Cole McDonald.
He's the son of the coach. And here's Rex's wind and the pitch, and there's a ball. 1-0. Luigi's Restaurant, home of the best Sunday brunch in Northeast Iowa every single Sunday. From 10:30 in the morning until about 1:30 in the afternoon, Luigi's Restaurant, South Frederick Street in Oelwein. Here's Rex's wind and the pitch to McDonald. It's outside, 2-0.
I don't know.
We're glad you're listening to the Husky Cast tonight. Tell all your friends about it. Everybody, tell them. www.thehuskycast.com. Here's the windup and the pitch, 2-0. Now he's behind 3-0.
Because, he's new superintendent.
Yeah, Tony Rex, sophomore. He knows who Cole McDonald is, the junior. Played him in basketball and in other sports as well. And he knows he's a pretty good hitter, so he's trying to get a little too fine with his pitches.
The 3-0 pitch and ball 4. So New Hampton has a runner on. 1 out, a guy on. Connor Cleveland comes up, the little hitter for New Hampton. He's a left-handed hitter.
We'll see what happens here, Dan. Coach McDonald has his son Cole on, who's very fast. And then his next 2 batters, Connor Cleveland, Tucker Tangy, both good hitters and very fast. So all 3 that they have in the top of the order are very, very fast.
2-1. We've got a good tight game here tonight. From the stretch, Rex works from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Strike to Connor Cleveland.
And so far, the umpire gives a pretty good outside corner.
Yes, he is.
To both pitchers.
He's been giving that the whole game. He has a fairly wide strike zone. He's given the outside corner.
I like this quick game. Last night was 10-30. Ridiculous.
Okay, here we go. Rex from the stretch. Here's the pitch. The runner's going. Here's the peg to second, and the runner's going to be safe. New Hampton now is a runner of the tying run in scoring position.
Yeah, stolen base from Cole McDonald there. They're definitely sophomore catcher Troy Rao is going to get tested tonight against a pretty good base running team in New Hampton. So one way for him to learn is just get thrown into it.
Okay, here we go. 1-1's the count. Here's the rind and the pitch. The pitch is from the stretch, and it's fouled out of play. The lights are taking full effect now. It's dusk on a beautiful, clear night here in Oelwein. A very light breeze blowing. It is probably about 75 degrees now. At first pitch, it was 79. It is 75 degrees. It's just a nice night. Unlike today, during the middle of the day, there's not very much humidity left. 1-2 is the count to Cleveland. Here it is. And there's a high pop fly in the infield. Tony Rex, the pitcher, calls for it. He has it. A big out there, 2 outs.
Yeah, usually, Dan, the pitcher doesn't want to take that. But in high school baseball, a lot of times you see close to the mound, the pitcher will call off everyone and take the pop out.
Tomorrow night we'll be on the Husky Cast, an Oelwein softball doubleheader right across the way here. 2 games versus Waukon will be on the Husky Cast about 5:45 or so. The first pitch for the first game starting at scheduled for 6 o'clock. And then we'll be back for more softball action Monday night and Friday night this week. Monday night next week. More baseball next week. And the schedule for the Husky Cast is right there on the website with the sponsors. And while I have a minute, Covenant Clinic and Mercy Hospital are here to serve your health care needs at every stage of life. Covenant Clinic, Mercy Hospital, 8th Avenue Southeast in Oelwein. The Oelwein Husky Booster Club, where everyone is a member. Check them out at www.oelweinhuskyboosterclub.com. Michael, a big moment in this game. Oelwein leads 2-1 over New Hampton. 2 outs, a runner on second. And this next hitter, this is a very important moment in this game.
Yeah, good job by Coach Gearhart going out talking to the entire infield and pitcher-catcher Tony Rex with Troy Rao. New Hampton's best hitter, three hitter Tucker Tangy up. So far, I think Coach might have been thinking about walking him intentionally here to get a force out. But so far tonight, Tucker has a strikeout and a pop out to shortstop where Noah Hops looked pretty good in his 2 at-bats. And he's a good hitter behind him, so they're going to attack him.
Tangy looks at a ball, first pitch, the right-handed hitter, number 9. A big moment in this game. Tony Rex has been battling the whole game, doing a real nice job. Let's hope he can hold on to the lead here, though. He looks into his catcher, Rao. Number 4 is the catcher. Here's the one from the pitch from the stretch. There's a strike. Runner on second, taking a big lead. Nothing happening down there yet. Okay. The 1-1 pitch from Rex. Here it is. Strike 2. 1-2. 2 outs to Tucker Tangy.
Yeah, Dan, Tony Rex has done a great job of hitting inside and outside pitches that the umpire's given him so far tonight.
All right, he's 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. 1-2. Here it is. The stretch, the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. He's out of the inning. Great job by Tony Rex. So Rex gets Oelwein out of the inning, and Oelwein gets out of the inning with the lead. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's the Oelwein Huskies 2, the New Hampton Chickasaws 1 on the Husky Cast tonight, June the 25th, from Oelwein, Iowa's Veterans Park on the south side of town. Right now, I want to credit some more of our sponsors before we go to the bottom of the 6th. I'm Dan Stasi with Michael Mohlis, and Performance Rehab is the premier choice for physical therapy for treating sports injuries in Northeast Iowa. Todd Bradley's team is the best at what they do. Performance Rehab on top of the hill on North Frederick Street in Oelwein. Todd also has an office in Sumner, so visit him there if you're in that area. We do have Sumner listeners, by the way. Thank you for tuning in. And New Hampton, I think we have New Hampton listeners tonight, too. They've been told about this tonight. Their athletic director said they would direct some people their way, and so I appreciate that. Oelwein Veterinary Clinic is right across from City Park in Oelwein. They take care of all of Oelwein area's pets and livestock, and they have since 1968. Dr. Ken McDonough, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, and Dr. Janet Sears, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, are proud supporters of all Oelwein athletics. Oelwein Veterinary Clinic. Here we go to the bottom of the 6th. Oelwein leads New Hampton 2-1. Michael Mohlis will set it up.
Thank you, Dan. Due up for the Huskies is Austin Arndt, McMillan, and Wood-Raska. Troyna in pitching with Ambrose catching for the Chickasaws. Defensively, in the outfield and infield, Chickasaws have remained the same. And that's a strike 1 to Austin Arndt.
Austin's number 11, a right-handed batter, and there's a ball in the dirt, 1-1. Both dugouts are very animated. You can hear the Oelwein dugout, Michael, all the way up here, and they're loud.
Yep.
It's good to see them in the game.
Both teams understand what type of game this is right now. It's a huge game for both teams right now. Both have 4 losses in the conference. Huge game.
2-1. And what's this one going to be called? Did he go? He did. 2-2. No, he didn't. It's 3-1. Okay,
no,
3-1.
I checked with the first base umpire. He said he did not go. It's going to be 3-1 to Austin Arndt.
Okay, here is the wind and the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, so Arndt's on. This would be a big run if he could come around.
Yep, nobody down. Infield, Kyle Smith at third is going to step in on the grass, expecting a bunt from Grant McMillan. I would expect the same that Coach McDonald's thinking with nobody out late in a game, bottom 6. Insurance run for the Huskies out there.
And it would be a huge run. And, yes, McMillan scoring around a bunt, number 6. And there's a pitch, and it's a ball.
Ball in the dirt. Good job by catcher Trevor Ambrose, the sophomore, getting down to his knees, chest out, blocking the ball.
He's been doing that all game. He's done a nice job. A couple have gotten away from him, but considering he's been almost seems like every other pitch. Here's the wind, and that pitch is hit. Bunted right back to the pitcher. He goes over to first, and he's safe. He is safe. A great job, a great bunt by McMillan, and he beats it out.
Yeah, Dan, good job by pitcher Troyna to go get the ball, and then he throws it across, and freshman Noah Hopp comes off the base too soon.
Yep.
So I don't know if Grant would have beat it out. I think Troyna was trying to stretch for a little bit extra, came off the base, but he called him safe. And now Hopp is in, and they're in their defense alignment, suspecting a bunt again. Ball outside to Kyle Wood-Raska.
Kyle's bunting, no doubt about it. First and second for the Huskies, and nobody out.
So defensively, what most teams do, third baseman Smith is going to stay home. And then Hopp is going to come in, and Eichenberger at second will cover first base.
Okay, the 1-0 pitch, and he's squaring around a bunt. And the ball gets away from the catcher again. Third and second now. The Huskies have 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that was a kind of got right under Ambrose. Ball in the dirt, tough to block. He didn't get his glove down between his legs there, and the ball escaped him with that ball in the dirt from Troyna. So nobody out, second and third for the Huskies with a junior Kyle Wood-Raska up to bat in a huge spot for the Wood-Raska.
Huge spot, and he's ahead 2-0 on the count. Here's the wind and the pitch. There's a ball 3. So the Huskies 1 pitch away from loading the bases.
The fans in the dugout definitely get into it now for the Huskies.
And now McDonald, their coach, is going to come out and talk to Troyna. Troyna has pitched okay tonight, but he's been shaky at times. He's been giving their catcher a workout, as we just said, a lot of balls in the dirt. Now they're going to call for an infield meeting.
Yeah, coach is going to talk to the infield specifically here. He sends, Ambrose ran back to home plate, but now he's going to jog back out. They're going to meet with everyone and talk about possibly having infield in here. I'd imagine Coach McDonald would probably do that. I don't know if he'd want to walk Woodruska, who doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
Big number-wise.
Interesting to see what's going to happen here.
But Coach McDonald's a pretty smart coach and very passionate coach for the Chickasaws, so he just wanted to check in with his team and decide what he wants to do with nobody out and runners on second and third. 3-0 count to Woodruska.
Okay, a big spot here. Here's the wind, and Troyna's pitch to Woodruska. Strike. He was taken all the way. Ridhoff, Ewing, Snicker, Weber Company CPAs proudly supports all Oelwein young men and women of Oelwein High School. They're at East Charles Street in downtown Oelwein. 3-1 is the count to Woodruska. Here's Troyna's wind and the pitch. There's ball 4. Bases loaded for the Huskies. Nobody out.
Now,
batting for Oelwein, third baseman
Sam Myatt, third baseman Sam Myatt's going to be up. He's a 9-hitter playing third base tonight. Coach McDonald is giving instruction to his defense. Corners are up, and the middle is with Eichenberger and Tangy is at double play depths.
Myatt hits that ball into left field. There's a base hit. 1 run is in, and that's it. It's 3-0 Oelwein, and Oelwein still has the bases loaded. Sam Myatt laced it into left field, and he gets an RBI, and the bases are still loaded for the Huskies.
Great job by Sam Myatt right there. Thinking first pitch. He's looking first pitch. Fastball right over the heart of the plate. Puts a good swing on it. Base hit to left over the third base Kyle Smith's head. Coach Gearhart is going to have a pinch runner now for Sam Myatt. That's going to be number 19, Brennan Ryan. He's a sophomore.
Right.
Pretty good speed with Brennan Ryan.
So good job for
Myatt will re-enter this game and go back to third. And now
Ladderberg
with
comes
the
up.
top of the order, Jared Ladderberg up. Coach McDonald calls time, and Troyna's night is going to be done.
It looks like it's probably over, and he's scuffled some tonight.
It will be no matter what because this is his second visit.
Okay. Really? They only get one. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's going to go with Kyle Smith. It's going to be looks like a straight change. Troyna's going to go to third. Smith is going to pitch. Smith pitched on Monday night for New Hampton against Charles City in their 10-2 win. He went, I think, 6 innings, or maybe it was 5 innings. He went with Troyna going the last 2 for the Chickasaws. So Huskies have seen him at New Hampton. First time around, they've seen Kyle Smith, senior Kyle Smith, pretty good pitcher on the year for New Hampton, and so far he's one of their main pitchers so far through this year. Kyle Smith steps in with 5 starts, 2 appearances, 4-2 record, 28 innings pitched with a 3.5 ERA, and he has 14 Ks to 7 walks. So Kyle's a guy that Coach McDonald can trust, and it's probably a good switch for him.
And he comes in in a tough spot, Michael. His team's down 3-1. I've been saying 3-0. It's 3-1. I apologize. 3-1, and his team has bases loaded with nobody out. The Cutting Edge, they've got you covered. South Frederick Street in downtown Oelwein. Hint Ziegler Miller Insurance. Call Lyle Miller at 319-283-1555. Hint Ziegler Insurance, East Charles Street in Oelwein. Slide into Styles of Distinction for a Grand Slam value. Styles of Distinction downtown Oelwein. It is 3-1. The Huskies over New Hampton. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Oelwein has the bases loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, Dan, top next 2 hitters for the Huskies are Jared Ladderberg and Kyle Bauska. They're pretty quiet tonight for the Huskies, but they're hitting .355 and .362 respectively. So these are the guys Coach Gearhart wants up to bat.
And one of them has a chance to break this game open. Here's the wind and the pitch to Ladderberg, and it is a ball.
Ball in the dirt. Once again, nice job by catcher Trevor Ambrose getting down and blocking the ball.
He's been putting on a clinic back there tonight like that. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's bases loaded for the Huskies, and there's ball 2. So now, if there's a strike, or if this ball's right down the middle, I would think Ladderberg's going to be swinging. 2-0. The wind, the pitch. Foul out of play. He was swinging, but he hits it foul.
Yeah, 2 ways to look at that. Coach Gearhart wanted to be aggressive with it, trusting Ladderberg's hot bat. But Smith only thrown 3 pitches. Now it's 2-1. 2-1 to Ladderberg with infield corners in at double play depth for the Chickasaws.
Here's the wind and the pitch. And it is in the dirt again.
Good job by Ambrose once again, blocking the ball.
3-1. 3-1. This is the ultimate hitter's pitch. With bases loaded, your team's up 3-1. You only need 3 more outs to win this game. And here's the wind and the pitch. Ball 4. He gets credit for an RBI. The Huskies lead 4-1. It's not glamorous, but it's a run scored, and the bases are still loaded.
Good job. Good patience by Jared Latterberg.
Not bad, number 15.
Swung at one pitch. That would have been a strike, and took four other balls. So now number 2 batter, DH Kyle Bauska is in for the Huskies, with corners still in, and the middle at double play depth for the Chickasaws.
Bauska, right-handed hitter, number 15, looks at an off-speed pitch. The ball's hit right back to the pitcher, to home plate for 1, over to first. Double play, a big double play for New Hampton there, keeping them in this game for now. 2 outs. Huge double play.
Good, great play by Ambrose. Caught it, got the for sure out, then fastly turned his feet and threw a bullet down to Noah Hop to get Bauska out by plenty.
Johnston, number 25, steps up for the Huskies. Runners on third and second, so still Oelwein could do some real damage here, and Johnston's going to be at the equivalent of an intentional walk. They don't throw the 4 pitches in high school.
Brings up the pitcher, Tony Rex.
And that'll bring up Tony Rex. He can really help his cause here. 4-1 Oelwein, bottom of the 6th. Runners everywhere. It's bases loaded. And what's going on here? Coach Gearhart's talking to the umpire. And we have...
Hasn't Hutt already had a pinch runner?
See what's going on here. Jonathan, Michael, I don't know what's going on here. Coach Gearhart's talking to the umpire.
Coach Gearhart's going to try to enter Jonah Woodward in to pinch run. Jonah's courtesy ran twice in this game for Rex. Tony Rex has not hit this inning, so I think they were just making sure he could come in and pinch run. If Jonah would have courtesy ran already this inning, he wouldn't have been able to enter there. But he is fine, so Jonah will enter the game. Johnston, I believe, can re-enter still.
And Rex can really help his cause here. He looks at a ball. First pitch. Rex has pitched the entire game for Oelwein, 6 innings, and he leads at 4-1. He's pitched a nice game for the Huskies tonight. And Tim Gilson just told me 3-hitter. That's a good job at any level. 2-0 is the count now to Tony Rex. As it is almost completely dark now. 2-0 pitch. He's taken all the way. Strike. Luigi's Restaurant, South Frederick Street in Oelwein, home to the best Sunday brunch in Northeast Iowa. From 10:30 till about 1:30 in the afternoon. The wind and the 2-1 pitch with bases loaded. Fouled out of play. It's 2-2, 2 outs. Deuces are wild.
2 great competitors here, Kyle Smith, Tony Rex, going at it.
Smith in the wind and the 2-2 pitch. Fouled out of play.
And once again, we'll see a 2-2 pitch. Like you said, deuces wild. The Huskies down there have their hats shaking,
really
bringing the thunder.
Okay, here we go. The 2-2 pitch, 2 outs, and the ball is hit on the ground. Is it fair, foul? What's foul ball?
Just foul.
Barely, just barely foul.
A few inches. We're talking a few inches there. Foul. Bounced over the bag to Noah Hop. So shout out to Jimmy Lindstrom for possibly being the best at 2-2-2 in the dugout for the Huskies.
Michael just said it, 2-2-2, 4-1 Huskies lead, bottom of the 6th. It is 2-2-2, 2 outs. 2-2 the count, the 2-2 pitch, and it is high. We're full all the way out now, 3-2.
It's a great at bat from Tony Rex, and just great battle from pitcher Kyle Smith for the Chickasaws.
Okay, Smith's working fast, the wind, the pitch, ball 4, another one walks in. Rex gets an RBI, 5-1 Huskies, another big run for Oelwein. They're not pretty, Michael, but they count, and that's all that matters.
So far, great focus level from Coach Gearhart. He's going to have a courtesy runner for Rex, I believe. It has been Jonah Woodward, so it'll be somebody else. Looks like Nick Stasi, number 35, the sophomore, is going to run, and that's going to bring up right fielder Wade Michaels, the senior, with 2 outs and bases loaded
Make the right choice with Right Price Office Supply for all your home and office needs. Right Price Office Supply, South Fredericton, downtown Oelwein. So Nick Stasi is on first as a courtesy runner. Michaels steps up at the right fielder for the Huskies, number 5, batting from the right-hand side of the plate. Oelwein still has bases loaded, 5-1 Huskies, bottom of the 6th over New Hampton. The Chickasaws come in this game 15-4. All 4 losses have been in the conference, though. The wind and the pitch, ball to Michaels.
Coach Gerhardt instructing Michaels to find a strike and hit it hard.
Smith working fast. The 1-0 pitch. Again, it's in the dirt. Ambrose saves a run. 2-0.
It's a huge spot for the Huskies once again.
Yep.
Up 5-1.
5-1.
Could use a few more.
There's a strike, 2-1. Always say a 4-run lead in baseball, Michael, a grand slam can tie it. You get a few guys on and go along, and no, that's a long shot, but you never know. 2-1. And there's a tip foul, 2-2 to Michaels.
Yeah, he tough inside corner. He didn't really want to swing at. Check the swing. Good pitch from Smith.
Smith working fast. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a ball line in the right center. Base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes another run in, and it's 7-1. Huskies runners on the corners. Great job of hitting by Michaels, and he busts the game open. 7-1 Oelwein.
Yeah, great job from senior Wade Michaels. Huge spot in this game, and he delivers and hits a right center. And now Coach McDonald's going to come out, talk to Smith. I believe he's probably going to go with a change here. Looks like he's going to. And Smith is going to go to third. Looks like Alex Troina is possibly going to go to second with sophomore or junior Noah Eichenberger coming in from second base. 2 pitch.
Austin Arndt is the next scheduled hitter for the Huskies. Well, Oelwein now has a big 7-1 lead over a very good New Hampton Chickasaw team. And but Michael, well, I'm going to give a couple of sponsors credit, and I'll get back to you here in a second. Dr. Anthony Leo, MD, proudly supports all Oelwein High School athletes and sports teams. Dr. Leo's at 204 8th Avenue Southeast in Oelwein. And Oelwein Dental Associates supporting all Oelwein sports at 7th Street Southeast in Oelwein, right across from Dairy Queen. 7-1 lead, it's a big lead. However, Oelwein is facing a team here that hits the ball hard, and they have New Hampton has a lot of batters who have very high batting averages, and we saw last time we played against New Hampton, they can score a lot of runs. So this game's not over yet.
Yeah, Dan, definitely. First and third with Arndt coming up. Eichenberger's a pretty good pitcher. Huskies, if they can tack on a few more, that might take more life out of New Hampton. But so far, Tony Rexton, a great game. Pretty great defense from the Huskies. So, with 2 outs and the 2-out rally going, still the third pitcher used tonight for the Chickasaws. Another great opportunity to get on Eichenberger, try to get a few more hits, a couple more guys in. Eichenberger's thrown quite a bit this year, and he's another guy Coach McDonald can trust, and I think he's third or fourth in innings pitched for the Chickasaws.
Austin Arndt comes up for the Huskies again. He's had a busy night. He's number 11, the junior, from the right-hand side of the plate.
Yeah, he has 2 singles so far, and he hit into that double play on a line driver in the first.
Here's Eichenberger's wind in the pitch. Nick Stasi was running. Ball's fouled out of play, though.
Yeah, that's Austin Arndt led off this inning.
That's Michaels.
But yeah, Wade Michaels was running from first. If Austin Arndt sees that, he could take a strike there. And then that allows Michaels to be in scoring position as well. So that's Nick Stasi's on third.
Nick's on third, okay.
But
they're probably going to concede that runner to second.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of a mistake from junior Austin Arndt. And it's tough to pick up the runner sometimes, but if he does pick that up, then it's second and third, and he's got a great chance to drive in 2.
Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-2 is the count to Austin Arndt, the Oelwein shortstop. Eichenberger's wind and the pitch. High for a ball. Michaels easily takes second base standing up.
Snap throw down from Ambrose to third.
Nothing going on there. So it's 1-2 now to Arndt. Runners on third and second. Oelwein leading 7-1. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the wind and the pitch to Arndt. Outside, 2-2. Dark now here in Oelwein on a beautiful, clear night for baseball or anything else outside. Oelwein leading a good New Hampton team, 7-1. The wind and the pitch. And there's a ball hit to the third baseman. He has it. Over to the first. Finally, New Hampton gets out of the inning, but Oelwein does some serious damage, scoring 4 runs. Oelwein needs 3 outs, and they have a nice win if they can get those 3 outs. We head to the top of the 7th. They scored 5 runs in the board in that inning. After 6 full inning, the Oelwein Huskies 7, the New Hampton Chickasaws 1. We go to the top of the 7th in a moment with Michael Mohlis setting us up. First, though, I want to give some credit to some of our sponsors that make the Husky Cast possible. Appliance Plus in Oelwein is your U.S. Cellular authorized agent located in Oelwein, Independence, and West Union. Appliance Plus is also your exclusive GE appliance dealer. Appliance Plus in Oelwein's office is located on South Frederick Street, where the Hardys used to be. Oelwein Husky Booster Club, where everyone is a member. Check them out at www.oelweinhuskyboosterclub.com. Call Flowers on Main for the freshest flowers in town. They have gifts and home decor and so much more. Call Flowers on Main at 283-7550, and they will deliver for you. Flowers on Main in downtown Oelwein. Oelwein's only true men's clothing store is Sam's Clothing, where they have affordable name brand clothing, casual wear, and tuxedo rental. Sam's Clothing, North Frederick in downtown Oelwein. We go to the top of the 7th. Oelwein with a 6-run lead. Michael Mohlis, tell us about it.
Due up for the Chickasaws is first baseman Noah Hopp, followed by Kyle Smith and Alex Troina. Huskies stay the same defensively battery as Tony Rex and catcher Troy Rao.
Hopp's a left-handed hitter, and he looks at a strike number 24. Rex has pitched a good game for the Huskies. He's gone the distance.
That was Rex's 71st pitch, Dan, so far, so sitting pretty good on his pitch count so far.
He's done a nice job tonight. The 0-1 pitch to Hopp. And he hits it into left field, and that's a hit. No, it's a caught by the left fielder. Great play. I thought it was going to drop for a second, but it was caught by McMillan. All right.
Good swing by Noah Hopp. Drives it into left field, but tails back right to McMillan, who makes the catch at his head level. Now, with 1 out, up 7-1 for the Huskies, senior third baseman Kyle Smith enters.
So Rex is 2 outs away from a very nice win. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a ball, 1-0. 7-1 Oelwein over New Hampton. We're in the top of the 7th inning. 1 out, nobody on for the Chickasaws. Oelwein and New Hampton split a doubleheader on the 6th of June in New Hampton. So if Oelwein holds on to this, they'd take 2 out of 3 from the Chickasaws this season. The wind and the pitch, a strike, 1-1. Oelwein came into this game 11-9, playing pretty good baseball. And they've played some really good teams. 1-1-1, 1 out, 1 strike, 1 ball. Here's Rex's wind and the pitch. The ball is hit to the second baseman, Woodward Raska. He has it over to first, going to be a close play. Out at first, a great play, a nice play by Hud Johnston. 2 outs.
Yeah, Kyle Smith, nice backhand, getting the ball, throws it across low. He was throwing it from about 90 feet, and Hud Johnson picks it low. That's a nice stretch, and now with 2 outs, Huskies have a lot of momentum, and
Troina,
Alex
4.
Troina, who's playing second base now, enters the box.
He was the starting pitcher tonight for New Hampton, was Spotty. He's a right-hand hitter on 1 out away from a nice win. The wind, the pitch, strike. Tony Rex has done a great job tonight for the Huskies. 3 hits is all New Hampton's been able to do against him. And this is a very, very good hitting team. Here's the wind and the pitch. There's a ball.
Yeah, 1-1 count now to Troina.
It would still be impressive, Michael, even if New Hampton had a team average of 220, but they don't. They're a good hitting team. Here's the windup and the pitch. And there's a foul out of play. We're down to 1 strike. 1-2. Tony Rex, 1 strike away from a complete game 3 hitter. Dark here on the south side of Oelwein at Veterans Sports Complex. Here it is. This is it. It could be the game. 1-2 is the count. Top of the 7th, 2 out the wind. The pitch. There's a pop fly in the infield. That should do it. Hud Johnston calls for it. He's got it, and it's an Oelwein win. The Oelwein Huskies tonight over the New Hampton Chickasaws. A 3-hitter from Tony Rex, the final score. The Oelwein Huskies 7, the New Hampton Chickasaws 1. Again, the final score, the Oelwein Huskies 7, the New Hampton Chickasaws 1. I'm going to give the sponsors a little bit, some more love, and Michael's going to wrap it up for us here on the Husky Cast tonight. Performance Rehab is a premier choice for physical therapy for treating sports injuries in Northeast Iowa. Visit Todd Bradley and his team at Performance Rehab in Oelwein and Sumner for all of your rehabilitation needs in Oelwein. Todd's office is on top of the hill on North Frederick Street in Oelwein. Oelwein Veterinary Clinic across from City Park, taking care of Oelwein area's pets and livestock since 1968. Dr. Ken McDonough, Dr. Veterinary Medicine, and Dr. Janet Sears, DVM, are proud supporters of all Oelwein Husky athletics. Hint Ziegler Miller Insurance. Call Lyle Miller at 283-1555-319. Area code Hint Ziegler Insurance, East Charles Street, downtown Oelwein. On the cutting edge, they've got you covered. South Frederick Street in Oelwein. Studio 17, relax, renew, revive, because you need time for yourself too. Studio 17, East Charles Street, downtown Oelwein. A big win for Oelwein tonight as they improved to 12-9 on the year, defeating New Hampton handily behind Tony Rex's 3-hitter, 7-1. New Hampton falls to a still very impressive 15-5 record. Again, tomorrow night we'll have a doubleheader. Softball, Oelwein versus Waukon, will be on the Husky Cast at 5:45 or just after 5:45. First pitch at 6 p.m. for the first game. And Michael Mohlis, this was a nice win for the Huskies tonight against a team, one of the better teams in Northeast Iowa. I know they've lost 4 games now, 5 games in the conference, but New Hampton's a good team, a good hitting team.
Yeah, Dan, Huskies did a great job tonight. That moves them to 5-4 in the conference, with New Hampton at 6-5. And it's just a huge battle for second place now. With Waverly Shell Rock at 8-1 leading the way. But just a great overall game from the Huskies defensively. They were very sharp tonight. They had 1 error in the field. But then hitting-wise, they had clutch hits and clutch times. They finished with 6 hits, scoring 7 runs. They also walked 6 times. But the big thing was pitcher Tony Rex, the sophomore tonight. He was very sharp the whole game, and he finished with 8 strikeouts and only 1 walk, Dan. So he did a nice job getting very good hitters from New Hampton out. It's a tough loss for Coach McDonald and his staff, but just tonight was just a great Northeast Iowa Conference matchup.
Yeah,
and it just showed what kind of level.
And my final comment for the night is, Michael, Oelwein has proved that they can play with about any team they play against. They're not going to win the conference, barring a miracle. They may even be mathematically out of it. I don't know. Waverly's probably not going to be caught, but they almost beat Waverly last Friday. They can play with anybody when they play good. And tonight, Oelwein played a almost perfect baseball game. Almost perfect.
Yeah, Dan. With only 4 losses, Decor's at 5 and New Hampton's at 5 in the conference. It's still open because Waverly hasn't clinched the conference yet, and because there's a total of 12 conference games.
Okay, so it's not over yet.
3 more, but tonight was the first step for the Huskies in doing that. And now New Hampton, I don't think they'll.
Those are good teams battling for second place. So New Hampton, Decor, and Oelwein are all good baseball teams. So is Cresco.
The thing is with Waverly, you don't know. They're playing tonight against Charles City. Charles City's improved squad this year. They also have to play New Hampton, who's a very good team. We know that they can hit very well, and so you just don't know. And then Waverly finishes with Decorah. So you just don't know, because with the Northeast Iowa Conference League, a lot of times you see somebody that's picked to win the league get second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever, and there's always teams that come out and play well in the conference season and get wins and win the conference. So, with this conference, you just never know who's going to win night in and night out.
No, and like I said, Oelwein, they lost, I know, but they played Waverly tough last Friday night. So you're right, you never know. Well, I got to start wrapping it up here. I got to pack up, Michael. Thanks for coming in, Michael, and once again, and it was great to see a nice win tonight for Oelwein, a big win for Oelwein as they beat New Hampton.
Huge win for the Huskies, and now Friday they will play against Decorah in another very, very big game.
That'll be a big game. Okay, Michael, thanks for coming in tonight. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
had
fun.
You,
Dan.
Yep, had fun. And tomorrow night we got a doubleheader of Oelwein softball versus Waukon. 6 o'clock first pitch for the first game. That's the Husky Cast tonight on the Husky Cast, www.thehuskycast.com. I'm Dan Stasi for Michael Mohlis. Thank you for dialing us up tonight wherever you are in America, or maybe anywhere else. Thank you for tuning in.